Welcome to Off the Mat, your new wrestling obsession. And tonight we got to talk because what is going on with the WWE right now? We've got AI SLOP showing up on NXT and fans aren't happy about it. We got Kairi Sane shutting down release rumors and calling out the noise. We got early WrestleMania 44 locations already leaking out, and this might be the biggest one yet. We got new details on Roman Reigns' next world title run as we are currently in it. Oh, and WWE just made a huge business move with ESPN again that could completely change how people watch NXT moving forward. So the question is WWE evolving, or are we just watching it change into something completely different? Because we're going to break that all down for you and so much more tonight. Welcome, and I hope you guys are having a great week. As always, I am Matt, and with me I got Sticks to my side and the man with the plan, Mr. Dirty Dom Tober on the bottom there. Boys, how are we feeling tonight?
Doing great.
Crazy week in professional wrestling, right?
Yes, it has. And I just got to say one thing. Lizzie Rain has arrived.
Yes, she is the niece of someone from Def Leppard, right?
No, from
Megadeth.
Iron
Megadeth. Or Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
But I'll just keep naming like every 80s hair band.
I was gonna say keep going, you'll land on it.
Guns N' Roses, Metallica,
Guns N' Roses, Stained.
You got that Pat Benatar, freaking Joan Jett thing going.
I like her finisher.
Yeah.
That like launch up kick to the head is an awesome finisher.
That's great, man. And freaking Kia Lyons has had a freaking be the recipient on that move. So crazy. But between NXT, all the call-ups at NXT, surprise call-ups, the releases that we talked
Those
about.
fucking call-ups are ridiculous. Evil just showing up, handing my man a t-shirt and leaving. And some guy they don't even know, which I like that nobody knows this kid.
I know, and he's from the Indies.
Oh,
man. He's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, he's super indie. And Vic Joseph was like, "What is this? A fan? Is this a fan?"
He looked like a fan at the beginning. Yeah.
So,
but you got a couple of roster move ups. That now NXT, and we have some more call ups that are coming up. Blake Monroe got buried. She a funeral. She's showing up in SmackDown, and Ricky Saints gave his vest to a young lady in the stands and gave his goodbyes. Main roster call-ups.
Class act to Ricky Saints, thanking everybody in the production truck, shaking everyone's hand in the production at ringside.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That's how you do it, kids.
Class act.
That's how even though he got buried, he lost that last match. He was it's cool. I'm excited. I'm sad that we had these releases, but I'm also excited for what's to come. Some new blood pumped into the system. Hopefully,
that's the hope.
They don't get thrown to the wolves and get destroyed. Ethan Page is already in the Intercontinental Championship picture, which I like. They're putting him there, and we'll see where Ricky Saints goes. But it's sad that these wrestlers had to be released.
No, it's not.
It's just
it's not sad. It dude, we've been talking about it for months.
I know, but
it's you're cutting the fat. You're going from 3 hours to 2 hours on SmackDown. You don't have enough. The Wyatt Six didn't do shit.
We've had more.
I'm saying 26 wrestlers in all got released.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big bump of who they can release. You not only release, individuals, like Kairi Sane, who now denies the fact that she didn't want to go to Japan. Here's the thing: could we see her in the future showing back up, like R-Truth type of scenario? Because now WWE's trying to backtrack, saying, "Oh yes, she wants to go back to Japan."
Well, we'll talk about the Kairi Sane thing here in just a minute. In our off the top rope segment,
dude. But Wyatt Six, the entire team, you got rid of
everybody.
And it's like, come on, man. Hey, look, they ruined that gimmick since the first time it came out, and it's sad that I know that Bo Dallas isn't Bray Wyatt. If it was Bray Wyatt, would they able to do it? Did this? I know they released Bray Wyatt, they brought him back when he was it, but would have dismantled this team like this if Bray Wyatt?
It would have been something different though. If Bray was still running that, it would have been something different than what we got. Let's face 100%. It. Again, you said it. Bo Dallas is not Bray Wyatt, and that's the bottom line right there.
You know, he tried. Uncle Howdy is a good character. It's just, unfortunately, the story, creative, didn't know what to do with him.
I think Uncle Howdy was a stupid character. If you're really honest with yourself, Uncle Howdy was a stupid character. The name is stupid. The mask was stupid. They should have gotten Bo Dallas out from underneath the mask. They should have had him re-debut without the mask. Give him a new name. We had no idea why the Wyatt Six were even here. What brought them together? Why were they part of this group? Why are they running around as these characters from the Firefly Funhouse? Bo Dallas he isn't his brother. As much as he wants to try, he isn't his brother. We talked about that on Friday when we did our stream about the releases. He's not his brother. He's not as creative as his brother. So you're asking WWE writers who, for all intents and purposes, can't write themselves out of a paper bag right now to continue something as complex and intricate as the Wyatt family. And they had that massive debut, like we said, where they murked everybody. Chad Gable shot in the head.
And that was crazy. But
but then WWE didn't want to do the supernatural aspect of it. A group that's built on the supernatural.
I know.
You're literally these characters from Bray Wyatt's Funhouse.
Yeah.
Brought back. And you don't want to continue on with that.
Yep. You're right.
Somebody said they're still trying to sell Alexa's doll because
they're trying to make money.
Well, and she still carries it, but they're all intents and purposes saying that they're not going to go back to her dark gimmick. She's not getting her dark gimmick back. So
because apparently somebody at TKO does not like dark gimmicks. Look, wrestling now. If the Undertaker and Kane were part of this generation, they would have been gone because someone don't like the dark, the supernatural type of gimmick. We do, if it's done right. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, when he was the Fiend, it was a dark gimmick. It was great, and it's like I said, it's unfortunate that we lost him. We lost him way too young, and it threw everything out for a loop. And you try, and remember when Bo Dallas came back and they were saying they were going to do the whole Wyatt Six, and they said that they have to really get it right for it to work. If not, it's going to be done. And sure enough, look what happened.
They sat on it. They should have put him with Alexa Bliss when they came back. And then when Bo Dallas got hurt, they sidelined the whole group and they sat on him and it never recovered.
Nope.
But to be fair, look at Aleister Black. You got him out here throwing fireballs, but you can't have the Wyatt Six doing something cool like that. No, you got to put him in a feud for 4 months over a stupid lantern with the MFTs. You can't get him away from the NFTs. And now you're trying to suck Jacob Fatu into the NFTs. You're trying to suck all these other guys into the MFTs that have no reason. Like, what is Solo Sikoa doing over here talking to some of these new people debuting on SmackDown? And trying to suck them into the NFTs or MFTs. And, trying to...
They don't get into NFTs.
Yeah, dude, I'm here to tell you, it's bad sign that all word out now is that Aleister Black is non-touchable. Nobody wants to touch him. He's not going back to AEW. AEW doesn't want him. Nobody wants him. The sad fact is Zelina Vega is, talented as she is, the business is almost past these short girl wrestlers.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss is almost too short now for what's going for the business and where the business is heading. So we'll be lucky to see if Zelina goes anywhere. And Zelina and Aleister are going to be a package deal.
Oh, yes, they are. Exactly.
They had a basically gift-wrapped gimmick that they took away from Karrion Kross and Scarlett and given to them, and they still couldn't pull it off.
Nope.
Granted, TKO meddled and all that and changed everything, but still, these releases, after we get through the initial shock of it, they're not that shocking. We talked about it last Thursday. We knew this was coming. It was just it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when.
When,
right?
But in the crazy things is that we didn't expect it to be like this, Well, but hey, look. That being said,
you got SmackDown going from 3 hours to 2 hours.
2 hours
you
now.
Got a bunch of people in SmackDown that they're not doing anything with, so they had to release them. Why sit there and pay them? And some, they just, and then they came out and announced, oh, well, we're re-signing Triple H for 3 more years. That doesn't mean shit.
Nope.
Apparently, rumor on the street is a TKO severance is 3 months pay. So I think they only re-signed, really, honestly, they only re-signed Triple H until The Rock and Brian Gerwitz are ready to fucking roll in and take over.
Yep.
And once that happens, and rumor has it, he's already writing smaller stories, Gerwitz is. So The Rock's already got his boy in place. So whenever The Rock's done getting pulled over and doing shit in Hollywood, he'll come back to WWE and take over creative, and Triple H will get it bounced.
Yep.
Sad fact of it all. But
yeah.
All right. Let's we'll talk about more about the releases, I'm sure, throughout the night. Yep. But let's get into our top rope takes. And if you're just joining us after following us on Friday, welcome. Top rope takes is where we have 5 topics, 2 minutes apiece, and we talk about the hottest news stories going on in professional wrestling. And we're going to start here with WWE using some AI slop on NXT. We got a vignette on NXT this week from Zarya talking about how she has surpassed Sol Ruka and left Sol Ruka in the dust. And with how, even though the premise of the vignette was really, really cool, you're really taking away a lot from the professional wrestler, that you're not even letting them cut a promo anymore. You're using AI to cut promos for them. And who the fuck is this? When did Lady Gaga start cosplaying Sol Ruka? Like, it doesn't even look like Sol Ruka.
It doesn't. I'm gonna tell you this.
I thought it was Miley Cyrus.
Awful. No, you're right. The premise was cool, but awful. And shame on WWE and TKO for doing this bullshit AI crap. Taking away the performances, the promos of these wrestlers that definitely should be out there promoting and doing these promos. The hell with this AI crap. And look, and I'm going to be the first to defend. There are some things that AI does that it is pretty cool. I've seen it firsthand. Some music collaborations, some shows on YouTube. But when you use AI for sloppiness like this, it's, you're trying to cut corners. Why are you cutting corners? Stop this shit. Stop it. But that being said, man, they used it and it was god awful. And I hope that they realize
a lot of current stars need AI help with their promos, i.e. Jade Cargill, Stratton, Rhea.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen, AI is going to be a ruination of everything. You take away the person, that the heart and soul of a promo.
Yeah,
by doing this AI crap.
You can use it to enhance, but it shouldn't be your main use. It shouldn't be the sole thing that you're using. If you're using it for, like some of it was like background imaging and stuff like that.
Well, they made
whatever.
Zarya look like Moses parting the Red Sea.
Yeah,
They tried doing Endgame where the guy, where Sol Ruka was disappearing. Come on,
she was getting snapped away. Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, I thought that was cool. I'll admit it. I thought her getting snapped away was actually pretty cool.
No, I'm just saying. But the whole fact is that some of the imagery was pretty cool, but awful in many other ways.
Well, I sadly think that AI is here to stay, boys. Especially
I know it is.
They're using AI to help them with knowing what wrestlers are on top, what markets they're hot in, what storylines they should go with them in. So they're using AI a lot. They're saying we're not using AI to write our stories in.
That's a lie.
Our storylines, but
that's a lie.
I think
using AI for storylines. They said it, and
then they came out and clarified and said, "Oh well, what we meant is that we're using AI to see what superstars are hot, what storylines are hot, and what markets, so we know how to plan the show." And that necessarily does not work for me because I think that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yes.
You're using AI. You're having an AI. You're putting in those prompts. I got wrestler A and wrestler B, and they need to have a feud about this. Write me a script. And they're maybe not using that verbatim, but it's definitely the building blocks of the story we're getting in WWE. Moving on, Kairi Sane pushing back on WWE's release speculation. One of the wildest things coming out of all these releases is what is going on with Kairi Sane. The curious case of Kairi Sane, as I've started to dub it, where WWE came out, released her, and then said, oh, well, she asked to be released because she wanted to go back to Japan to be with family. It came out that she got released, and within 2 days, it said that it came out she was already back in Japan. Well, Kairi Sane has taken to X to say, what I can say is I know there's been a lot of speculation, but I truly love this work, my teammates and my fans. I've never walked away, and I've given my all in everything I do. I hope you're all doing well. 2 minutes on the clock. Tell me you're saying WWE is full of shit without telling me WWE is full of shit here. Am I right? Like,
right.
This is straight up Kairi saying, trying to control the narrative, saying, no, I didn't ask for this. You released me. Don't try to not only mute the "We Want Kairi" chants on Raw.
Oh my
God. They dropped the volume on that crowd real quick when those chants started.
Oh yeah.
Because they know they fucked up, and they know that they're going to get more R-Truth style chants. But we get no, and she was just on Raw last week. We had this whole 6-month storyline with her and Asuka and Io, and we get no payoff for it. And worst of all, Kairi gets no payoff for it. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about Kairi Sane pushing back on WWE? Do you see it as her doing that, or do you think she's just saying that, like, I'm not quitting on anybody, but I had to walk away?
No, she's absolutely pushing back on what they're trying to do as their narrative. I never walked away. Clearly she didn't, like you say, she didn't ask for it. It was pushed upon her. WWE, TKO came out and said, make her one of the cuts. She got one of the cuts. She didn't ask to go back to Japan. This is her way of saying, why don't you keep your mouth shut and say the truth? Just say what happened.
This is her saying, TKO, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
100%.
And the whole thing is that they're trying to make like they're the victims, saying, oh yeah, she wanted to go back. But they know that we invested a lot of time in this storyline. People like Kairi Sane. They like her. They like the Io Sky angle, the Asuka angle always going on. We invested 6 months.
That's crazy.
Our time and energy on watching that storyline. You want to see redemption. You want to see Io Sky finally talking to the ear and to fight back. And then they release her. Look, the WWE knows what they're doing. They lower the volume of the chants. They don't want the R-Truth thing again. And then, remember, Nick Khan has said time and time again, we don't cater to the fans. We do what we want. We don't cave in, which is bullshit. The heat you got with R-Truth. What's going on there?
What's up?
You heard that? Was that you, Sticks? Made that note? The TV?
Not me.
Or was that you, Matt?
It wasn't me.
Yeah, a video came through. Keep going.
Yeah, so I don't play none of that. They're full of shit, and it's sad when they're trying to be the victim and truly, Kairi Sane loves the WWE, loves the fans, loves her teammates. You can see that she put her heart and energy into what she does. And for that, that's a slap in the face.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we wish Kairi the best, and hopefully we see her again soon.
Yes, we do.
Hopefully maybe she gets some work in New Japan.
Yep.
Or we see her back in I think that out of all the releases, she's probably the most likely to go to AEW. Maybe Zoe Stark, but it's too bad with the Kairi situation.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 44. We're not even at WrestleMania 43. We already know that. It's locked down solid to be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Boys, we got a lot of speculation over the last couple of days about locations for WrestleMania 44 because Nick Khan said, wait till you see where we're going to have WrestleMania 44. Where do you guys think WrestleMania 44 is going to take place?
I think, I don't know. So they're talking about Tennessee, Washington, D.C. on the White House lawn we're talking about.
What?
That was just recently came
in the new ballroom. It'll be in the new ballroom.
Yeah. So you got New Orleans, Paris, France, Tennessee, and London. I personally think London should get it. You know,
well, you got to remember. Did you say Indianapolis?
Yeah, Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah,
because they have that deal that they signed a few years ago where they're supposed to get the Royal Rumble and a WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Caesar's parking lot,
like Mania 9.
Right? It's actually good. Yeah, true.
Up behind Costco's.
In the Walmart, they said in the Walmart parking lot. I seen that one too.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? Look, if you're gonna do international, see, me personally, I'll be totally honest. I think WrestleMania should always be in the States. Other pay-per-views you could put out and go international and do what you got to do. WrestleMania should be a homegrown establishment here. So
I don't agree with that. I think the European wrestling community has proved its weight in its fandom and how they've treated the sport when they get it over there. And I think
if you need proof, go watch AEW from Wembley.
Right. And I think Europe, like London and France, is more easier accessible for fans from here than Riyadh and Saudi Arabia. A lot of our fans aren't going to go over there, in my opinion, because it's just an unstable area, and it's not an area people want to travel to.
Nope.
In reality, where London or in the UK and France, those are places people go all the time.
Yep.
People go there all the time for vacations or what have you. So I can see them do it. And I have no problem with it.
Let's pack our bags. Let's go to Saudi Arabia. I ain't going there.
No, thank you. No. And if it's Nashville, Nashville's not too far. I mean, I wouldn't mind going out at least for the experience. I don't know if I'd go to the actual show, but
the Tennessee,
a
lot happens in Tennessee, man. Rock and roll, city. It's a great atmosphere over there.
Country music capital.
Yeah, the country music capital.
Country. I'm sorry, country music. But it's like just rock. It's music. It's music.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry. My history is a little rusty. I'm sorry. I should know that. But
I was honestly waiting for you to be like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I was like, nope, that's Ohio.
No, I'm just saying rock and roll. I'm just saying that the music, the atmosphere, the burgers are great over there. That's what I can honestly say. But
burgers.
But New Orleans.
Dom's going to pick where WrestleMania is based on the burgers.
Well, hell yeah, man.
Burger after burger after burger
after burger.
Listen, if any place should get it, London, should be the spot. If they,
I think it should be London by default now, because how are you going to give Saudi Arabia a WrestleMania before you give one to London?
Exactly.
So if you're going to have WrestleMania in Riyadh next year, 2028 should be London. They've been talking about it forever. Pull the trigger, show AEW what it's like to put on a real wrestling promotion in Wembley Stadium, see how crazy they go, actually put together a decent card, and let's pull the trigger and for sure do it in Wembley. I think so. Yeah, like Stick said, so many fans would go over there. I think they'd have a great time, even regardless if you don't go to the show. They would go over there just for the atmosphere, the raucous crowd. And you know, this year, from what they're saying, they're gonna go do one night of WrestleMania in Riyadh. The SmackDown before will not be in Riyadh, and the Raw after will not be in Riyadh. So they're gonna be in and out during that event. So what do you do? Do you only send half your roster? Do you only send the people that are going to be performing in WrestleMania to Riyadh, and everybody else stays back, and then you try to put a Raw or a SmackDown on? I mean, SmackDown's not as bad because you're on Friday, so they have a whole week to get back. But you only send half your roster, your performers on the show, and then the rest of them head to Monday Night Raw for the Raw after Mania.
This is going to be my speculation as far as that goes. Have SmackDown and Raw in Europe, somewhere near. You do that so they don't have to come all the way back to the United States. Go to France. Go to Germany. It's right there. It's like a 3 or 4 hour flight instead of a 12-hour flight.
Have the Raw after Mania in London.
There you go. There you go. Book it. Why not? I mean, you're gonna fly all the way to what? To have it in New York? Maybe. That would be the only spot I would pick. Or Philly, because the
because let me tell you, so what's going to happen is that to paint the picture of what you were saying earlier, Matt, about the you're going to have half the roster there. And so if you have Raw and half the roster, you won't have anybody from the card from the WrestleMania card on Monday night.
You'd have very few of them.
You know, because that flight back to come back and go right, it's not going to be it's not going to be feasible. But you're right. Have it in London. Have it in Europe. Have it right after.
And not that they're hanging around, because we saw last time they got in, they did their matches, and they got out. They didn't stick around. It wasn't, there's no sightseeing in Riyadh. Off to the next spot because we need to go.
The fish and chips are great over there.
Oh, in London?
No, in freaking Saudi Arabia.
Oh, Riyadh? Oh, sorry. I guess.
I hear they got good burgers over there, Dom. Wagyu.
They probably do. Actually, there is a place. There's a place in Saudi Arabia. They advertise. They have
Wagyu steak.
Oh, steak. It's a steak, yeah.
Well, no.
Burger.
They have Wagyu burger too.
They make burgers out of it too. They freaking shred it up to make chopped meat, and they freaking make the burger.
Get cultured, Sticks. Jesus.
Come on, man.
I gotta stop going to Pizza Hut all the time.
Yeah. Pizza Hut.
Nobody else Pizza Hut, baby.
We got some title or apparent plans for Roman Reigns' world title run revealed. Fightful is reporting that there is no internal pressure on Roman Reigns to match his previous reign, which lasted a record 1,316 days before Cody Rhodes ended it at WrestleMania 40. The report notes that the goal this time around is to simply stack accolades and deliver strong TV storylines rather than trying to reproduce Roman Reigns' previous title run. That is pretty realistic approach, since what Roman Reigns did last time and his last run is widely considered one of the most dominant championship reigns in history. Boys, 2 minutes on the clock. Do you feel like this is a good direction for Roman Reigns' current title run?
Be honest with you, I would love to see him lose the belt in Backlash. I would love to see him lose it to Jacob Fatu. You really want to make a crazy story happen? He loses the belt, and Jacob Fatu has that, and that storyline you can really work around that. Having Roman Reigns like, what the hell just happened? Type of scenario. Because look, we all know that he's going to be holding the belt hostage again
Till WrestleMania, at least till he drops it to Seth Rollins.
Exactly. and then Seth Rollins is going to lose it to whoever. But he shouldn't hold on to the belt for a long period of time. Like, he should hold it for a couple of months, and then boom, lose it. But like I said, I hate when they build up the storyline. Jacob Fatu, this or that. He's not going to. If WWE pulls that off, that'd be one of the best things they could possibly do. Having Jacob Fatu win the belt and surprising everybody and shocking the wrestling world. No. You know what? You're right, to commentary. I don't think I can take Roman Reigns for another year. I like Roman Reigns, but I just can't. I don't think I can.
Yeah.
I don't think I can.
That gives you that level of unpredictability, though, if they take the belt off of Roman right now, because everybody and their brother thinks, so Jacob's not winning that belt at Backlash. It's going to stay on Roman. That gives you that unpredictability that we're all, I think, desperately seeking, because if we're being 100% honest, the bloodline stuff is it's only been a couple of weeks and it's already stale.
Yeah.
Roman isn't doing anything but coming out and cutting promos with Jacob Fatu. The Usos are nothing more than lackeys standing in the background. I mean, this time on Raw, they're back there like doing, like, mimicking along with Jacob Fatu when he's like, yada da meat and all, and all gas, no brakes. They're back there basically reciting everything he's saying, hyping him up.
So I think you want, like, the story. He loses the belt. The freaking Usos go with Jacob Fatu, and Roman Reigns is like in a state of shock. What the hell? Like I said, just that unpredictability right there would be gold. That would definitely raise the stakes if that happened. But will WWE do that or play it safe? Keep Roman have it. See, and that's why WWE is getting stale. The stories suck. They have no creative direction on what can be a good storyline, and it just plain simple. You need that unpredictability to make things happen, so we can the freaking wrestling world go, holy shit, look what just happened. I got to tune in next week to see. This is crazy.
Right?
Yeah, there's nothing there with the same guy holding the belt for a year plus, and I'm actually kind of shocked that Cody Rhodes is still holding that belt, even though he did. It feels like he was holding it for a year, even though Drew McIntyre did take the belt off him for a couple of months.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. That's what I do with Cody Rhodes. It's going to be, they want Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk now. So we're going to be, that's a big WrestleMania match right there. That's WrestleMania 43 right there.
Hey, they got no plan. They have no backup plan to Cody Rhodes, but that's your head of creative right there. Old Mr. 3H's himself. You got no backup plan to Cody Rhodes. No other superstar back there that you feel like can pull the weight of Cody Rhodes. Guess what? Put Danhausen in there. Strap a rocket ship to Danhausen's ass. I want to see Danhausen as WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Hey, he's 2-0.
Now, that would be a shocker to see Danhausen somehow sneak out a win to be world champion. Nobody's calling for it.
Are cursed.
Nobody's calling for it but me. Nobody wants to see Danhausen as champion, but I want to see Danhausen as champion.
Let's start the
world championship on him, but
Danhausen,
the world heavyweight championship on him. See what that's like.
Yeah,
right.
See what world champion Danhausen looks like. That's what I want to see.
Like I said, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. With Roman Reigns and this championship run. Yeah. I just, like I said, I hope it's short. It's short.
The only thing I'll add in as my 2 cents is, I agree. Him dropping to Fatu would be probably good and unpredictable. Unfortunately, I think they're gonna run the routine of Fatu loses, MFTs. You try to get him into his group. There's a small feud with them, and then we get back into him and Roman Reigns after like a month or two.
Because they're just going to dance around it until they inevitably have to do Obafemi versus Roman Reigns.
Yes.
All right. Next up, we got NXT. It was announced over the weekend that NXT will be now airing all of their PLEs on the CW. And if you're an ESPN Unlimited subscriber, starting this summer, ESPN will also be streaming NXT live and all their PLEs. So people like Sticks, you won't have to go to third-party sites anymore to watch NXT. You'll be able to do it as part of your ESPN Ultimate plan. How do you guys feel about for all the talk we hear about the WWE partnership and ESPN partnership isn't working? Well, CW just went ahead and instead of creating their own streaming platform and trying to put the NXT on their streaming platform and push another streaming platform, they just said, hey, let's just go ahead and jump in with the worldwide leader in sports. They've already got all the WWE PLAs. We'll just throw NXT on there and all their PLAs this summer. How do you guys feel about NXT joining ESPN?
Makes kind of sense to a little bit. I mean, yeah, we don't want to see everything kind of be monopolized, but I mean, the writing was on the wall for Peacock. Writing was on the wall for Peacock. We knew that was ending at some point.
Yeah, or Saturday night main events even still going to be on Peacock, or are they just going to be on ESPN?
I think so, because it's an NBC produced show.
Because I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to canceling my Peacock subscription at this point.
I think that's the only thing you'll get on there.
Me and my wife are talking about all the subscription packages that we have. We want to rethink it over and probably get rid of some stuff. It's just too much. It's way too many.
It is a lot out there. Yeah. So I mean, I don't want monopoly, but again, the writing was on the wall.
Monopoly. I actually think it's good because NXT needs a brand like the CW is going to have the pay-per-view. So CW is teaming up with ESPN. It makes sense. It's a WWE product. You put it together on that show, so you have. Hey, look, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I have a hard time. I don't have. You need the app for the CW to watch the damn show. I try watching it sometimes. I can't even get it on the damn thing. So if it's on ESPN, I have the ESPN package. So now I can watch the PLEs and I can watch certain things. So it's good because they put them more in the spotlight. The PLEs on ESPN. And these are up and comers that are going to be taking over the main roster in years to come. So that's a pretty good thing.
I'll tell you the one thing that I think they need to do, and it's tell me if I'm wrong, because I probably am.
You're wrong.
Thanks, Dom.
Yeah.
If do they? How can you watch SmackDown? I don't get it on Hulu until like a week or two later. It seems there's the USA doesn't have a replay channel. It doesn't go onto ESPN or. So how do you watch SmackDown?
I watch
like the next
SmackDown
day?
On Sling, and I pay $50 a damn month for friggin'
But
Sling.
that's as it's playing. I'm talking about like the day after. I'm talking the day after.
The only way to watch it is replays on YouTube because at the end of the day there is no replay.
Right.
Or get a VPN and watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my only gripe with WWE is I can't watch SmackDown. VPN aside, I can't watch SmackDown the day after in full. I can watch the highlight clips on YouTube, but
to be honest with you, I think that's the best way because SmackDown.
Well, it has been the best way because SmackDown's been
nothing but
horrible.
3.5 hours of slop,
and now they're gonna drop down to 2 hours.
I'll go back down to 2 hours.
And it still will probably underperform because it's got terrible terrible writing, terrible storytelling. Hopefully, Ricky Sane. I mean, the sad fact is you can put Blake Monroe in there with a paper bag and she's going to put on a banger of a match. But, could the rest of the roster really hold up? Like you got
watch a wrestler way out of a paper bag.
Yeah, you got Ricky Sane. Like it goes to show. Look at Fatal Influence. Obviously, WWE is high on Fatal Influence because they had 2 segments on SmackDown last week,
and on top of that,
and they put JC Jane in there with Rhea Ripley.
She got the Dominic Mysterio friggin' great noise, man. That tells you something that they're high on her, and she is a great villain, a great heel in WWE. Already, she's getting the Dominic Mysterio friggin' hate, So that's that tells you something, man. That
and my hat's off to her, because I've never been the biggest JC Jane fan, but she performed. She showed up and showed out on SmackDown on Friday night in her debut, hands down.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've enjoyed her.
So all right, this is called the shoot. I'm mixing things up a little bit. What I want to do with the shoot now is this is your free reign to. I know 2 minutes isn't a lot of time. It's a free reign to talk about any of the topics we had in our top rope takes a little bit more in depth, or anything you want to talk about professional wrestling related before we get into the Dirty Dom Dirt Sheets. Sound off. Is there anything that we talked about that you guys want to touch on a little bit more?
Actually, the AI stuff, really quick.
Let's do it.
You know, it's scary. Like I said, I know it's here to stay, and it's scary where they're cutting corners and they're taking people's jobs away with the AI stuff. You see, AI should be used for certain aspects, not all the aspects of what the TKO is trying to do. You know, already that the whole the Zarya and the Saruka thing, that took away two people who are great on the mic. They can actually talk and cut a great promo. You took that away by putting the slop of that AI. You know, and moving forward, we're going to see a lot more of this. Now, the problem is now this is the answer. There's a question: are they going to start to try to make it better? Because now all the feedback and the crap that they got about this with this. Now, do they look at themselves and go, "Listen, no, we're going to have to do better," or are they going to continue to do the same shitty AI and stuff like that with SmackDown and Raw and other whatever else they decide to do these?
I mean, it's
AI
always evolving, so I think it's going to get better and better. Next week it'll be better than it was last week, and so on and so forth. So I definitely think that WWE will continue it, because they have received some big praise from the likes of Bully Ray over the whole AI thing, but it's got a lot of fan backlash. And when I saw it, I was like, what in the AI slop is this shit? Dude, it was cool until it sounded like, now I don't know, and somebody in the chat sound off, if that's actually Zarya talking or they AI'd her voice as well. Because if it was her talking and actually delivering that promo over just the AI imaging, okay, that's pretty cool, because you're not going to be able to get those effects any other way unless you hire a huge VFX team and all of that.
Right.
But if they AI the whole promo, then you're taking
you get problems.
What makes the wrestler a wrestler. You're taking away what connects the wrestler to the fans.
With the fans.
You're taking away, because you know, the sad fact is a lot of these people, because they come up in the WWE system, the coddled system, they're coddled. Seth Rollins is coddled. Roman Reigns has been coddled. They're not brought up. The WWE hangs on to them and pushes them down your throat until you get behind them. They're not out there cutting their teeth on the indies. Yeah, Seth really did as Tyler Black, but where was Roman before NXT? You know, where was a lot of these people? They're grew up in this WWE system, and you know, they don't get the experience of having to set up their own table and sell their own merch and sell their own t-shirts and push their own stuff until eventually the WWE system is like, all right, well, you're used up. See you later. And they kick them out like they're kind of just did with the Motor City Machine Guns, because they're at the end of their career, towards the end of their career. They're getting up there in age. So you get rid of them. Aleister Black, Zelina Vega. You're just kind of washing these people out so you can bring new people in. And they don't really know what the indie system is like, the pre-WWE system, because that's where they came out. Now, Aleister and Zelina kind of do, and Motor City Machine Guns as well. But I just think that you're with the AI to bring it back around, you're taking away of the old school mentality of pro wrestling. And
you're taking away the engagement
of
the hate or the cheering of the wrestlers with the fans, the connection. That's what the fans like about. You know, when you go out there and you cut a promo, you get the fan interaction. What makes or breaks the wrestler on who if they're a heel or a face, and that's disturbing because you're taking away everything that wrestling was, and that's what everything, entertainment, music, was going on worldwide. And you're talking about Skynet. Terminator is actually happening. If you really think about it, and it's sad, but and you hit it on the other head, Matt, with the if they AI'd Zaria's voice, that's BS. But if it was Zaria talking and then they had the little promo, this and that, all right, fine. It's still, you have the engagement. You had like a little feature type of film just to show that where her thoughts are, this and that. And all right, but you got to do better. You got to have to do better. And that's all I want to talk about that, because it's going to keep coming up, because there's a lot, like as time goes on, it will get better. They'll master on what needs to be done to make it as real as possible.
Yeah.
And enjoy
it's going to be a situation. It's going to be our situation of how they use it, where they use it. Already and I would say this, it's already gotten better since the last time they used AI, when they had Dominic Mysterio holding the AEW belt. So,
well, yeah, there's a lot of difference between AI and AI photos and AI video, but
AI they act me.
Yeah, it's just gonna keep getting better. To go back to the Kairi Sane thing, man, I just the WWE releases are very. We knew they were coming, and I'm not gonna sit here and do fake outrage, but if you're with Kairi Sane, if you're R-Truth for that matter, if WWE releases you, and then the fans throw up the we want Kairi, and WWE listens, and they come back to you and say, listen, we made a mistake. We want you to come back a second time, because she walked away the first time because she wanted to go back to Japan. But I think her contract was up then. Do you go back?
I believe so.
Would you go back?
You know what? I would sign on the contract saying that, you can't release me for a third time. There's got to be something in the contract. And you definitely, I would definitely, more money, you would definitely ask for more money or something like that. I don't know, because now, like, you got to feel a certain way. Now she said they said one thing, she said the other thing. It's kind of an awkward situation now. You go back, but the fans, and look, it has nothing to do with TKO. It has everything to do with her and the engagement of the fans. The fans want her. They like her. She's a likable person, a likable character, and you see the emotion of the fans when freaking Asuka was always yelling at her, and that she, in her mind, the way she was doing things, and they even upset when she became somewhat heel. Asuka turned to become a heel. So, if I was her, you know what? You want to please the fans and have her come back. But I think, to be honest, man, for them doing that, I would look elsewhere. And, her weight in gold is definitely is out there. There are people, she's a very talented wrestler. She's got the moves, she got the look, she's definitely what wrestling's all about. And another company should snatch her up and say, look, this is what you lost, WWE. And like I said, that's up to them, but it's also up to her too, because she loves her friends, her teammates, and she loves the WWE. So if they asked her to come back, I think she probably would come back. But if I was her, I would probably say, I'm gonna weigh my options. See what's what.
Well, and
she's got to do for her. She's got to do for her.
Like Zelina Vega took to her Twitch stream and said that she got a phone call for TKO. And we talked about that and how, TKO isn't this. But then when you really think about it, when you take yourself out of it and you sit back and kind of take a couple days to look at it, yeah, it makes sense the phone call came from TKO, because they pretty much wiped out all of WWE's HR. So their HR is probably handled by TKO. It probably came down from Ari Shafir and all them at the top, and they said, all right, we need to hit this dollar amount. And they told Nick Khan and Triple H what dollar amount they gave. And Triple H, being the head of the creative, said, all right, well, we got no plans for these guys. We got this guy's Aleister Black gimmick isn't working out. Kairi, whatever's going on. The Kairi one is just the one that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because she was just there on Raw.
And she was in a storyline that was milking, that was good.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder, though, did they know that these cuts were coming before WrestleMania? Is that why Io and Asuka were not on WrestleMania? Is that why Kairi was not featured at WrestleMania? And they just came down because they didn't have they knew who they were going to cut. They just didn't have the dollar amount yet or whatever it was.
And the same thing when
marching orders from
the Randy Orton storyline that they cut, that he was supposed to be part of the storyline, and they cut that storyline. So you're right. That possibly could be. It could be.
And so they didn't know. So she was there because, the Raw after Mania. And then the marching orders came down and said, all right, here's the dollar amount you need to cut, get to work. And Nick Khan and Triple H got their marching orders and they did what they had to do. But I think it goes back to what we were talking about on Friday, though, is it feels like you need to end the brand split.
Yes.
Because you just nuked all of NXT to bring it to the point where, your announcers don't even know who are debuting anymore.
True. And
so now you pretty much take Ricky Starks, you leave your entire roster to who? Who do you got? The face of NXT now, Tony D'Angelo. He's the NXT champion.
Yes.
That makes sense why they put the championship on him.
Yep.
So now you got all these El Genericos running around in NXT that you're gonna try to bring up, and we're gonna see how that goes, I guess. But
exactly,
yes.
I just feel bad the Kairi situation because we don't know, and we probably never will know. WWE saying one thing because they want the positive spin, they want the heat off of them. They don't want fans chanting, "We want Kairi," just like they did for R-Truth. So they're going to try and silence the fans, and that's only going to make the fans chant louder. WWE. I wouldn't be surprised if SmackDown tomorrow night, the crowd is absolutely raucous and you can't do anything about it because they know, and it's gotten around the internet that you turn down the fan noise on Raw and you
very
so
noticeable.
Can't hear the "We want Kairi" chants. You got WWE,
TKO, shame on you.
Well, or Triple H and creative. You've got WWE talent coming out and saying, "We want Kairi, we want Kairi." It's not a good look. And so then you try to pass the buck off on Kairi, and Kairi's like, "Fuck it, I got 90 days. I don't work for your company anymore. This is what I didn't ask to quit. I didn't ask to walk away.
Nope.
I never would walk away on my fans. I would never walk out on you. I got sent home." And who's to say? I've heard people say, "Oh, well, she obviously knew it was coming, or she obviously is." TKO and WWE story is legit and hers isn't because she's already back in Japan. You don't know if she didn't have this trip planned for months. You don't know if she was like, all right, well, that's the WrestleMania is a reset. I can go back to home for a little while. You don't know if she had some sort of family thing that she had to go take care of and she was going to be gone for a couple of weeks and just went home to take care of it and come back. They could have wrote her off just like they just wrote Stephanie off. And I told you guys going into WrestleMania that Stephanie was hurt.
Yep. Yeah. And second degree sprain his shoulder.
Yeah. That brings up a good question. If they knew she was going to go back to Japan, wouldn't you finish up the storyline? Maybe write her off TV so she could do that in that last piece of that storyline.
That's what makes me think that maybe they knew the cuts were coming before WrestleMania because they were going to move on from the story. They knew that.
But wouldn't you still do that? Wouldn't you try and finish?
You already knew that you already knew that she was going to go home, and there was going to be no finish to the story. Now you're shifting your focus to that finish being Asuka and Io. So you have her go home, and you can cut her, and
they
no
could
harm,
have
no
finished
foul.
it. They could have finished it at WrestleMania. They could have finished it at WrestleMania.
Because they don't give a shit if you've got to sell, if your main residence is international and you got to sell your properties here and all that shit. They don't give a fuck about that. That's not their problem.
Hey, look, TKO put it out there. Those wrestlers knew they were getting canned, and it kind of sucks. And, I still think there's more to come down the road. There's more to come before this year's up. And it's, it doesn't look like they're going to sign like any big. I know they signed some people for NXT, but like people that are ready for the WWE, like the main roster. I don't think they're going to be signing anybody anytime soon. And they're going to work with the talent they have for now, and work with the call-ups from NXT, and that's it. It's just look. I understand business is business, is what they say, and it is true, and it's unfortunate, but we're gonna have to. We don't want to accept, but we're gonna have to accept the fans of what they're doing and move on to hopefully that a lot of the new faces that are coming into the main roster can really launch the brands. We got to see.
The sad fact is they got to be careful because WWE is the penultimate. That's where they want to be, and you got to be careful what you say or do speaking out against them, and especially like Zoe Stark. Man, imagine if Zoe Stark came out and flamed everybody because she posted on Twitter, "Oh, what's 6 more or what's 90 more days or 89 days or something like that. I already waited a year. What's 89 more days, motherfucker? You speak out." What's to say that Triple H and TKO don't go, oh, yeah, remember all that time that year you were out for injury? Yeah, we're tacking that onto the contract. So your 90 days actually will be a year.
I think it's too late for that.
That's another thing, too. She busted her ass coming back from that injury to make a way to get cut, which really it blows.
To get cleared before WrestleMania, only to get cut after WrestleMania. But, all right, that's enough of us shooting on our top stories today. Now we're going to hand it over for Dirty Dom, who's going to fill us in on all the happenings going on in the professional wrestling industry. Dom, what are the dirt sheets singing about this?
All right. Let's go back to what we were talking about earlier about, Aleister Black and Selena and the Wyatt Six. So I was talking about that earlier. The PC, the PW Insider said reporting that someone big hiring TKO doesn't like the dark characters, the supernatural type of characters, and that's why those guys were taken out because somebody doesn't like them. They want this more of a PG, more of a kids brand. That's why. Remember when they were bought by Netflix and going to Netflix, they're going to be like rated R. There's going to be a lot of cursing, a lot of things going on, and then Triple H is like, nah. It's still a PG era. They try some stuff that's maybe a PG-13-ish, this and that, but yeah. So basically, the mass release is, and they're reporting that the dark characters, they said they were fired and they're released. And knowing, he goes, the thing is that it's great that this didn't happen when The Undertaker and like the likes of Kane and the Boogeyman and freaking what's the group Edge and Christian dude, how can I forget this?
FTR?
Oh no, with Gangrel.
Oh, the Brood.
The Brood, right? If they were around, TKO owned it, they would have been gone a long time ago. And that's just saying, that's just the and it's coming from the PW Insider. So they get good scoops and obviously the truth of it, it seems legit that is the reason why the Wyatt Six and Aleister got canned. So that's that. Also, so AJ Lee's current WWE run is officially over. It's officially over, and they're saying they hope to her return to programming and matches in the future, maybe SummerSlam, but we're not sure. Can see what happens. I think maybe if I'm a betting man, SummerSlam would be great, but I think more more of a Survivor Series when you have the women looking for teammates and getting grouped together, like she was in Survivor Series last year. I think you'll see her come back and do that. I think she did a pretty good job in her first run back. You know, she wasn't going to be a full timer. So,
right, we knew that.
So that's that. Let me see. So we talked about earlier in the chat that it seems like the WWE was politically forced to sign Zoe Hines, who was the niece of Robert F. Kennedy, and apparently she didn't do great in practice. They weren't impressed on what she brought to the table.
Biggest fucking nepo hire ever.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, guys. Do you think that she's definitely going to be a plant there for a while, even if she's not doing great? You think they're going to still keep her on?
Yes, they're going to keep her in the back. They don't want to admit they failed, and they don't want to take the heat for signing her and then it failing. They're going to pour everything they have into making her TV ready. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they have to at this point, or they're going to eat crow and swallow and admit, oh, well, yeah, this was fully a Nepo baby move because Linda's in the current administration and this, that, and the other thing. So it was a complete Nepo baby move. We just hired her because her dad or her, she's related to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. They're not going to do that. They're not going to take that look. They don't like to be tied to politics, even though they're tied to politics. So they're going to push it and throw everything they've got to making her work out.
Yeah, so I can see that. But that I hate that when you're forced to the corner, and because they are, WWE is definitely all for this current administration. So I can see the look just isn't good because of the releases you just did. Now you're gonna take on someone who is even worse than Maxine Dupree. Hey, don't talk about Maxine Dupree like that. She's coming back.
Listen, I'm giving her credit. She's better than this girl. I mean,
especially when you got Lizzie Rain. By all intents and purposes, they're expecting to take over the business. She's going to be the next Rhea Ripley or whatever. They're thinking that she's going to be the next big thing, and she's not a Nepo baby, but she's got a link to fandom, rock music, thanks to her uncle. And now you've got a politician's family member in WWE. So it's just
definitely right. Definitely right.
WWE maybe for the current administration, but they do a lot of political pandering to the other side.
Yeah, they do. And listen, you got to look when you have a company like TKO that has a vast majority of the crowd that is either to the left or to the right. You definitely have to have. You got to be. The scales have to be on the same wavelength. The scales have to be balanced because you can't just go full one way because then, of course, you're going to offend one side, and you can't go another way. You're going to offend the other side. So basically, when it comes to the political landscape, which I hate talking about, there needs to be a balance, and that's what they do. And that's all big businesses and corporations do that. They say they don't, but they do that because they want that revenue. They want that money. They don't want to lose a certain demographic of person.
That's not true. He lost to Drew McIntyre in Saudi Arabia. So Sammy does not win a title every time he goes overseas.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But so before I get to this this is going to be the last one. But I just want to put a little tidbit. So apparently, there's a lot of rumblings in WWE. Brock Lesnar. They're talking about Brock Lesnar. He might not it might not be the end when it came to him retiring in the middle of the ring in WrestleMania. So there's some reports coming out saying that there's a possibility that we might get round 2 of Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. To have another bout of before Gunther meets up. They might push the Gunther thing a little further and have more of a Brock Lesnar. So so apparently one of the rumors of his open challenge that became the Obafemi Open Challenge now that he's doing.
I think you're thinking of Braun Strowman. He won the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, the greatest Royal Rumble, and then now he's no longer employed. He's been fired twice.
Yeah, he also has Everything on the Menu. Watch it, a great show.
Shameless plug.
So they're saying that maybe one of the candidates that come out for the Open Challenge is Brock Lesnar, but not now. Somewhere leading up to maybe SummerSlam, Monday night before SummerSlam. So there's that rumbling that's going on. Me personally,
that's fucking lazy writing, by the way.
Yeah, it is lazy writing, but you know what? Me personally, I think
what's up, Dub?
If it goes in that direction, I'm okay with it. Because guess what? It tells you they don't have a story for Obafemi. You have to have an open challenge.
They don't have any competitors on the roster that can stand up to Obafemi. Exactly. Is the problem.
Exactly. That's that. So that's why you have another match with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, and it won't fare the same way it did. It will go, you might have that disqualification match where they both get disqualified, and then you'll have the final where Obafemi beats the shit out. So you have the trilogy. I think that's the best thing for that storyline to come to a head, and then you move on to the Gunther thing. Because I wouldn't have Gunther come out in the Open Challenge. That'd be a waste of Gunther fighting Obafemi. What you can do is, after you finish the trilogy with Brock Lesnar, then you can have a trilogy with Gunther. And
we need to see all these trilogies, though? Do we need to see trilogy with this guy and trilogy with that guy?
I know. It's just the whole fact that that's basically what wrestling is. There's trilogies in wrestling. The final chapter. You have the steel cage match. Like the Obafemi match. Together you have the first one, Obafemi. Then you could have a steel cage match. And you could have a freaking goddamn street fight. You could have different types of things to build these feuds up. And I think right now, Obafemi's best bet is to have 2 more matches with Brock Lesnar and then have the matches with Gunther. You have that right for now, and that'd be the perfect storyline that could build Obafemi even more. And the Gunther doesn't have to be right away. You can have one Gunther match. Gunther, Obafemi gets the best of Gunther, and then you wait. And then they build it. They go into it, and then they meet up again.
But here's the catch-22 of that, Dom. Though that by doing that, they just officially ruined that by WrestleMania, because now nobody cares. There's nothing there.
But no one's caring right now.
Gunther gains nothing by beating Brock.
The whole fact is, you need to use Gunther. He's not freaking retiring anybody anymore.
Right, they need to use him, but he's not going to be. He can't be the career killer anymore. That gimmick is officially dead. Obafemi and Brock killed that, because guess what? Even if he for some reason comes out, if WWE just fired 28 wrestlers to fucking back the Brinks truck up to Brock Lesnar's door to pay him to come back, even though then him retiring or Gunther retiring him at SummerSlam effectively means nothing.
I know. Hey, Sid, listen. Obafemi is being built up to take down Gunther. That's the what's going on. Gunther is doing his thing, and Obafemi, they will meet. And I think that they should meet before they meet the final. I think the final match, Gunther Obafemi, should be WrestleMania. It shouldn't be the first match. They should meet before that.
You got to make it mean something, though.
I know, and you can make it mean something. That's the whole thing. It's just that stop with the lazy freaking writing.
Well, I think doing an open challenge is lazy.
That is lazy. That is 100% lazy.
Obafemi there, you're essentially admitting you have no creative for Obafemi, and you want to make him this big monster.
So let me ask you a question.
Just don't put him on TV every week.
So you have Obafemi coming out, open challenge. Rey Mysterio comes out. You Obafemi, open challenge. You freaking have you have El Americano come out.
El Grande Americano.
You have freaking Otis come out. You have Bronson Reed when he gets healthy come out. You have Braun Breaker. You have the Olsen twins.
It's essentially what they do with everybody. Instead of feeding him jobbers, they're just going to feed him the main roster, and he's going to run through the main roster.
And that's what I'm trying to say. So that's the thing. So you have to see what's what with that whole how it comes about. But anyway, that being said,
instead of sending him purple testicles from right here in Cleveland, Ohio, they're just going to give him the WWE roster to run through.
You might have him fight the freaking goddamn the Viking Warriors again. Where are they? They didn't get released? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that didn't happen. There's a lot of names.
They're in AAA.
I don't know why they're still there. The American made.
You see, you're right. I hope they do build it. Like Dubs, that's what I'm saying. You got to build it up before it happens because it does sound boring, but that's the only option they have right now. You got to certain characters. You have to have. It works with certain storylines and trilogy type of.
But that's the thing you had though. Like, if you kept it going, and here's where the creative problem with Triple H comes in. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Gunther had nuclear heat. You don't get that kind of heat in WWE anymore. He had nuclear heat after making John Cena tap out.
Yep.
And what did they do? They had him come on TV, call John Cena a bitch, taunt him. Cool. And then you go to AJ and they take him off TV so he cools down. Then you give him AJ Styles. And again, I don't know how you catch lightning in a bottle twice, but you fucking did. They caught nuclear heat again. And they took him off TV and set him down again. And then came the Brock Lesnar stuff and the Rey, he's supposed to retire Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. And then that didn't happen. Now Rey doesn't want to retire him. He was going to have Jericho do one retirement run, and Jericho doesn't want to be retired by him.
Nope.
And Brock abruptly retires. So effectively, Gunther is dead. Nope. The Gunther push is dead. You build Gunther up. Just feed him the guy. You had that nuclear heat. You could have built him up to be one of the greatest heels. And then finally, when Obafemi beats him, Obafemi becomes the next big thing, bigger than Roman Reigns, to carry the company.
But give it
Oba's already there. I think that's the problem where they're having a trouble is that Oba is already organically over. They didn't do that. He did. So, it's the same thing with Jey Uso. It's the mystique and the allure of the music, the strut to the ring, the chant, all of that, his package. But if you don't have good storyline for him and just feeding him guys in an open challenge isn't it. Like, if you don't have creative for him, keep him off TV. Have him show up, have big matches against Jacob Fatu, big matches against Royce Keys, big matches against whoever, Seth Rollins, whatever. What are you going to do? March fucking Omos's ass from AAA down here to fight Obafemi because you got nothing else? You got to find a guy whose stature meets Obafemi's?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Well, look, that right now, the only option is they have nobody in the roster. They got rid of half the freaking goddamn roster, guys that actually could make some impact.
Only SmackDown. They only got rid of
I know, but could make some impact. Like, that's why you have the open challenge. It shouldn't just be on Raw. It should be SmackDown guys coming in to fight Obafemi too.
They really shouldn't have an open challenge, period. It's just lazy.
I know it is lazy writing, but to hell, if you have an open challenge, it's got to be on both rosters. And also AAA, NXT, anybody can come up to freaking fight Obafemi. That's what it should be.
Raw effectively did announced two open challenges on Monday. You got the Becky Lynch Intercontinental Champion Open Challenge, and you got the Obafemi Open Challenge.
Yep.
After they announced, oh, hey, look, after Little Yachty comes out and says, hey, man, Trick Williams, yeah, we're not doing that anymore, man. He's not giving out any more open challenges, man. That's done. There's no more freebies for that United States Championship. That's done. And then WWE was like, all right, well, we'll just take an open challenge over to Raw. And Oba Femi comes out and open challenge. Becky Lynch comes out and open challenge. That fucking Becky Lynch open challenge, man. Asuka and Becky Lynch put on a banger of a match. Or not, sorry, not Asuka. Io Sky and Becky Lynch.
That was good.
How are you going to put Io Sky in a mid card? How are you going to have your biggest baby face all of a sudden in a fucking mid card? I still go back to that should have been Sol Ruka a week ago. Showing up to answer that open challenge. Imagine the pop she would have got if Sol Ruka came out and beat Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship the night after WrestleMania.
In the mid card, she should have fought Julia. We should have had that.
I still think we should get that, even if the United States Championship isn't there.
Anyway, so that being said, let me finish off the Dirty Dom sheets and we can go off on the top of the thing. The last thing has to do with the AI too, again, a little bit, but here. So it says, this is from Sports Bash. It's a wrestling, publication. So apparently Triple H is upset over the WWE storylines being developed by AI in the TKO era. So as reports,
that he's the one doing it.
I know it says, look, as reports, Triple H has raised questions over heavy use of AI in WWE storylines. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton WrestleMania feud was reportedly entirely mapped out by AI.
I don't know. I don't know
how true that is, but
yeah.
But we'll see. Also, TKO officially acquired WWE for $9 billion in September 2023 after Vince, exit. And the TKO president Mark Shapiro introduced AI into WWE creatives as optimized profits to make profits. That's what it is. So, and you got the likes of CM Punk and Brock Lesnar having strongly opposed to the AI use. And like I said, strongly believe right now, Triple H believes TKO creative involvement now threatens to destroy WWE forever. So, look, you're getting mixed reports. You don't know who to believe. I know a lot of stuff doesn't fall in Triple H's lap. It's TKO, but there has to be. He is the head of creative. He's the all say on what goes down in creative until you have the top meddling, saying things. You could fire and hire the best for the creative because you are the CEO, the COO of creative. And what's true is Triple H the one that's lying that did the cuts, a lot of the firings of some of the wrestlers? Is it true that he freaking is opposed to TKO using AI? So there's a lot.
We're only using AI, Dom. We're only using AI to tell us what stars are over in what markets and what storylines are going to run well in those markets.
But you know what
who's
happens?
This and who's that? We're not using it to write full storylines here, Dom.
You take a foot, and as time goes on, they will be using it for full storylines. That's the problem with AI. You use AI a little bit, I'm just going to use it a little bit, and next thing you know,
I already think they are. I think when Pat McAfee backed out of that finish, I would not be surprised if they threw that in ChatGPT and was like, "Oh, all right, this is what we had going. This guy's gone. How do we do this?" And that fucking whole finish was just AI'd out.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it was. It wouldn't shock me if that came out. I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying that would not shock me if that came out because it was a clusterfuck like AI can be.
And then TK goes, "What?" He goes, "I'm the problem." Yes, you are the problem.
TKO is only the problem in the stack that they can meddle. And, we got to talk about that too. Yeah, they came out and Shafir said, we're the head of creative. Everything goes through us. We get the final say. Sure. But they're not sitting there making calls down every day and being like, you need to change this. You need to change that. It's Triple H and Nick Khan running the day to day. They just can call down like they did a couple years ago with The Rock and say, listen, we need to change this main event. And they did this year with Pat McAfee. Hey, we need to get our guy Pat McAfee in here. Got to get our guy Pat McAfee in here. And so they changed the whole Aleister Black angle and fuck everything up. The last 2 years, they've done that and fucked everything up. Maybe they need to rethink shit and stop meddling, or at least if meddle beforehand. Be like, this is what we want. This is where we want to go. Triple H, Nick Khan, make it happen. And meddle that way. Don't meddle 2 months before WrestleMania.
What they should do is they should have a meeting, sit with each other, talk about what's what, and then find out what the fans want. And then
they sit there and say they don't give a shit about.
I don't give a shit, but the fans are the ones that freaking cheer and boo and freaking force you out of freaking goddamn your socks. You need the fans' input sometimes. What you should do is have people take people aside and go, what do you like to see happen in this match? And take ideas. Get ideas out there. Like,
you ain't gonna listen to nobody.
Get something that, like, go through the mind of some fans that actually know wrestling more than TKO knows. And
according to Nick Khan, he can take a shit on a piece of bread and pitch it to WWE fans that it's the greatest sandwich ever, and you're gonna eat it up regardless if it's a shit sandwich or not.
That's what I'm saying. You can't just do that. You have to have some kind of feedback where fan interaction is definitely needed for certain things. I'm not saying all, because some fans have some wild fucking shit. You know, it goes with Star Wars like me. I got some wild fucking theories and things out there. But the fact is that you can throw some stuff out there and see what the fans really want.
But that engagement is hard too, because the fans are fickle. We're not gonna the days of you shoving someone down our throat and having us cheer for someone you want us to cheer for and boo someone you want us to boo are long gone. That died when Roman Reigns.
Yep.
You know, so that's why you got fans booing your baby face and cheering your heel. Like, the fans are a fickle bunch. You can't necessarily rely everything you do on fan reaction, because the fan it's an unpredictable what's the word I'm looking for? Variable. It's an unpredictable variable, because you don't know who they're gonna cheer or boo, you know?
Exactly. Hey, Sid, you're right. I remember WWE back in the day had that. Yes, and some of the stuff did work, of what I've known, you know, of what happened. So they should go back to some old basics, you know, and see what they can get at it. But the fucking AI, man, that's the thing that's going to be annoying. What should hit? Hey, chat PTT, what's the what match should we have? Who should fight? Oh, Roman Reigns and Otis. Why? Because chat PTT said that. You know,
you saw that basically on Unreal.
Yeah.
With Road Dogg.
Yeah.
We need to put the belt back on Chelsea Green. Okay, well, who's she gonna feud with? I don't know. You should have just put it on Chat GPT and or Gronk or Claude and been like, Claude, what's up? Tell me what to do.
Yeah, and that's the problem. But you know, it sucks for something that we do like, and we see the deterioration of something that we do like, and that's with everything, man. Everything that we do like, when a corporation takes over, it fucking destroys the life out of something that used to be fucking fun and great.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. I put it in Chat GPT. Here's our main event of next year's WrestleMania. We got Rhea Ripley versus who? Who are we gonna put Rhea Ripley against? Let's see. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. All right, cool. We're gonna put Rhea Ripley in a rabbit costume. We're gonna have Becky Lynch in a turtle costume, and we're just gonna have them run around the ring. And that's what AI is telling us. We're gonna have them run around the ring, and it says they're gonna love it. That's the tortoise in the hair. We're gonna have it play out, and then we're gonna have Becky Lynch go over Rhea Ripley, because the tortoise has to beat the hare, and that is our main event for WrestleMania right there, pal. Book it. That's what I said last week. As long as guys like Michael Hayes and Bruce Pritchard are around, the old school, you got rid of Vince, you got rid of Mr. People Power Laurinaitis himself.
Laryngitis.
Yeah, laryngitis. You get rid of those two despicably sick fucks.
Hey, I have laryngitis.
And People Power. And, you know, but you still kept Vince's regime around. You got rid of Vince. You got rid of laryngitis, whatever you want to call him, but you kept Pritchard, you kept Hayes, you got old heads. Triple H is surrounded by old heads. I wouldn't be surprised if it's true that he still gets text messages from Vince about creative and what he should do, and things like that. And as long as you got that old regime around and old heads, nothing's going to happen. You need to get new talent in there, get people the fuck out. But like I said, I started saying, until Gurewitz is ready to write, The Rock's boy is ready to take things on fully, they're just going to ride out the ship with who they got. And the question is, are there still going to be fans around willing to eat this shit when that time comes? Are you still going to want to fucking digest this shit that Triple H is laying out on you before they pull the plug and The Rock inserts Gurewitz and away they go?
I guess if it's on the right type of bread.
Because right now, there's not a whole lot of hope out there with the way they're going, other than putting The Rock's ass on TV and letting somebody else take over creative and shaking things up. You know?
Yeah.
I can't believe Brother Love is there almost 40 years later, right?
I love you.
The fabulous Freebirds and
yeah.
But all right, is that it for the Dirty Dom sheets? Or you got more?
Dom sheets, yep.
All right. Now we're gonna roll into our 3 count. And the 3 count, if you're new here, is where we go over this week's SmackDown, Raw, and NXT, as well as AEW. If any of us caught AEW Dynamite this week, where we give our reviews instead of going segment by segment like most shows, we give our best moment, worst moment, and what were they thinking moment of the show. And we're gonna start out with this week's SmackDown. Sticks, give me your best moment, worst moment, and actually, I'll go with Dom because Sticks always complains. You put me on the spot, and I can't think. So, Dom, give me your best moment, worst moment, and what were they thinking from SmackDown?
All right.
I don't think about those things.
Act like you've been here before, Sticks.
All right. The SmackDown we had, so it was kind of cool to see the MFTs meet up with the Usos and Jacob Fatu, to have that whole Samoan reunion type of thing. Because give or take, I think that there eventually is going to be a whole renaissance of the bloodline. Well, speaking about it, but really quick. So there's a rumor floating around that they're talking about that the new name of the team is like called the Bloodlines, going to be called the First Family. That is ridiculous if that actually is, if that comes into the play. If they say that, is
Roman said it on Raw on Monday night.
Yeah, he did. But so I think the best moment is, Cody cutting another promo. Another promo that he's ready, for whoever. Like, it looks like I don't think he's leaving with the. They're gonna probably keep him off television. Like, that keep him off television. He'll be there until his eye really heals. I don't think he's gonna have any fights. But
have you heard the ridiculous thing that he wanted to come out with an eye patch on and rock an eye patch, and Triple H wouldn't let him do it?
I'm Cody Rhodes, the pirate. That was that was pretty good. I kind of, like I said, SmackDown is kind of like really boring to me when it comes to the shows. Me personally, I think the NXT was the best show this week.
They really need to feed Cody a new opponent now.
Yes,
he's got to get past this TKO shit. He can't sit here and harp on this TKO bullshit anymore. They got to get him past that and get him a new feud ASAP.
Yeah. I think that he needs to, because it's going to be a long road before he meets up with CM Punk.
Yeah, not till WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. So give or take, you got to have some. So I'm kind of happy that the new people like Ricky Saints are coming in there. There might be some surprise, a little shuffling around. You might get people.
I'd be intrigued by Cody versus Ricky.
Yeah. Cody versus Ricky. What about, I think you figure Randy Orton versus Ricky. I think that'd be a good match. That'd be kind of cool. It's like a fresh face,
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely in the possibilities, but it's going to be a while before Cody, like I said, meets up. That's WrestleMania 43. So you got a whole year to definitely, I also liked, Tiffany Stratton, you know, I didn't like the fact she took the belt off freaking Julia because, again, Julia had the belt and she really didn't face anybody, which really sucked.
Let's just say what she's done with it.
But now I think taking the belt off Julia, you could actually make her more of a valuable asset to SmackDown. Now, you know, she's gonna definitely probably get in a feud with Katana, you know. So I think at that, but like I said, the MFT stuff, you know, I like the Bloodline stuff if they do it right, you know, and you know that the MFTs are going to start to fall apart too. They're going to implode. They're imploding too. You know, so we're going to see that happen. And like I said, if the Roman Reigns thing really takes off, and you could see more, if maybe Solo goes back, you know, becomes good. You know, Roman, like I said, is Roman a heel? Because he acts like a heel. You know,
I think he's technically a tweener.
Yeah,
yeah.
So, but I'm surprised they didn't have Jade Cargill come out this way. Actually, you know what? The best thing about SmackDown was JC Jane. JC Jane coming out and getting that nuclear heat, that Dom Mysterio heat. You know, so I actually like that part. That you have up and comers. They came up.
I love the name, Paul Cloud Levesque. New era.
So I like that, and the Cody thing. Like the worst moment was everything else because really
together.
You know, I the whole thing with Lil Yachty and freaking Trick, and I know that you know, Sami Zayn. That was funny that he was in the Gingerbread Man outfit. I kind of knew that. I kind of knew that coming into the fold that he was at. I'm like, watch, the goddamn, this guy's in the outfit, and sure enough, he was. But yeah, that's my SmackDown. Really, everything else kind of like,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sticks.
Yeah. For my best moment, I'm gonna similarly say the JC Jane. That was really good. My worst moment on there, I think the whole gingerbread man thing is just stupid. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, how many times do they do that whole, and not very often, mind you, but you know, oh, who's in the turkey costume? Who's in the bunny costume?
Vince McMahon is all elite.
So that kind of stuff, I don't, you know, and I kind of knew it was going to be Sami Zayn in the costume. As far as the
safest, softest baby ass bullshit haluva kicks I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was way off target. It was like it was only there for the camera.
He looked like Alberto Del Rio. Oh my God, I can't say his name. Alberto Del Rio fighting Carlito over the weekend.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
That was terrible.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sticks.
Oh well, that's another one of my worst moments of the week. That our local indie promotion was supposed to have Carlito at their next event, and he pulled out. So not cool.
Never pull out, Carlito. You never pull out.
Not cool. Not cool. What were they thinking?
You got to spit.
I don't know. People. There's so many. The whole show being 3 hours is still what are they thinking? I'm glad they're going back to 2 hours.
For me, best moments of the night for me, I actually have two. Is Danhausen and the Miz and that whole package.
Oh yeah, that
was one. And the match was good. And then, of course, Jay Fatu absolutely destroying all of the MFTs on his own at the end of SmackDown. Fantastic. Worst moment of the night was, oh, man. don't really know if there was a worst moment of the night. Actually, I think my worst moment of the night and my what were they thinking go hand in hand, and it was the women's women's United States Championship match between Tiffany Stratton and Julia. Surely for the fact of how the fuck do you take the side plates off the belt?
I know
before you have the match, ultimately signifying that there's going to be a new champion before the match even takes place. You have the belt sitting ringside on a podium, and you already took Julia's nameplate off the belt. And then you had that poor woman go through all that speculation that she was going to be cut because of that. That's some craziness right there, man. My worst moment of the week is probably just SmackDown overall. It's got no good writing. It's got no direction. Everything just feels very forced, flat, and lifeless. But that's my worst moment is SmackDown overall. And what were they thinking is why the hell are you removing Julia's side plates before the match even takes place?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good. What are they thinking? I forgot about that.
Julia is all elite.
Yep.
Are you having AI write your stuff there, Paul Clown Levesque? Is that what's going on right now? We're AI in it up. Right
AI. Now? Are you AI, Paul Clown Levesque?
Right.
All
right.
But all right, that's SmackDown. Now we're gonna go into Raw. Monday Night Raw. I'll go first this time. For me, Monday Night Raw, the best moment I think is Jacob Fatu choking out Roman Reigns at the end of the show.
I have my eye.
That was awesome.
That's awesome.
I like that a lot. Let's see. What was the worst moment for me for Raw?
I can tell you the worst moment in a heartbeat.
Me too.
You agree with me?
What?
Freaking goddamn division with Joe Hendry.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I actually like that.
No, actually,
I liked Joe Henry's song, even if it was a little on the nose after you just released a bunch of people and you're gonna have them singing about how they should have fired Logan Paul. It was actually a fun concert.
It was fun, but I like
Logan Paul coming out there losing his mind was a little cringeworthy.
Yeah, that was funny. He goes, freaking goddamn Walmart employee. He calls making Joe Hendry a Walmart employee.
The what were they thinking is going to, for me, is going to be why all the open challenges. The open challenges are dead. They're boring. They're lazy. It just shows that you have no direction for them. You have no direction. Like I said, I gave them the perfect out last week with history repeating itself, where they should have Becky Lynch on Raw last week, do the open challenge, then have Sol Ruca answer it, have Sol Ruca take the title off of her. Then you're getting your history moment that WWE loves so much by having Sol Ruca shock the world and take the belt off of Becky Lynch. You could still do that now with the open challenge, but it loses its effectiveness other than the surprise of her losing. Oba Femi's open challenge is just a waste because Oba Femi's not going to lose.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like whatever. But I wouldn't say the Rock concert was the worst moment for me.
Yeah, you see, you're right. The music played for the contestants' entrance is now all produced by AI. True. So, AI is taking over.
That was that was my TKO cuts budgets. What about you, Sticks?
Best moment is the Fatu Reigns ending to Raw. The whole, and I'll call it, the mandible claw to the Reigns.
It was Haku's.
What do they call it?
Throat thing.
It's a.
I thought he had his jaw.
It's something death clutch or something.
No, he had him by the throat. I can't remember.
It was some kind of some clutch. I forgot the name of the clutch. It was a clutch move. The death grip clutch or some.
Yeah, yeah. And my worst moment is the Joe Hendry concert. I don't like those things. It was just kind of cringy. And then they come out and he's doing fire Logan Paul. It's funny or entertaining. Do you really kind of do that after you just released?
It's the Tongan Death Grip, is what
Tongan Death Grip.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But do you really do that after you just fired 24 people and you still go through that segment?
It's still funny, man. They should have fired Logan Paul.
Yeah.
He's the future.
Well, what were they thinking of the week? It's not a bad what are they thinking, but I'm kind of go with the whole squash with Obafemi and Captain Australia there. What's the Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller. Yeah. I mean, I get it. You get him in. He's gonna run through people, but I hope that's kind of what they're gonna kind of do. But at some point the matches have to get excessively more harder. They just can't be squash matches every single week. So you gotta maybe build up to someone bigger. Maybe you build up to that Gunther match using these kind of squash matches as you gradually make them harder and harder for him. And who's the hardest person he's gonna fight? Gunther. So, if you're not gonna get Brock Lesnar back,
I don't know. I think you fast track Obafemi versus Roman Reigns, and you get that over with, man. You put that belt on Obafemi and let him go. That's the only really marquee match you have now that he beat Brock. Is you gotta fast track Roman Reigns versus Obafemi at some point.
Yeah.
Gunther.
How long do you wait on that? Do you wait till SummerSlam? Do you wait till
Sadly,
Rumble?
if you want my honest answer, you're probably not going to get it this year. I think they're going to lead to. I think Roman holds that belt. If we get it, it'll be in Saudi at WrestleMania next year. But I really think they're going to try and go back to the Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns.
Down the road.
Unless they try to do Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
Well, listen, but you see, Roman Reigns has never beaten Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So you would have to beat Seth Rollins and still can't keep the belt because there'd be some interference. Roman Reigns, like I said, that'd be a match, but right now I don't think people want to see that. People want to see new stuff right now. But
we got Backlash next weekend, and Backlash so far is only 3 matches.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about that later.
Well, my best moment for Monday Night Raw was Io Sky versus Becky Lynch. That was a pretty bang of a match with Asuka coming in there. This and that. But
it was a good match.
It was going back and forth. And Io Sky, why is she in the mid card? But someone has to do the mid card. I know you have a lot of wrestlers out there for the mid card, but right now you have to have stars go for the mid card to really build these mid cards up.
That match was only there for one purpose, and it was to set up Io Sky versus Asuka.
But it was still pretty good. And the other best moment was the promo with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. I like that promo. That was pretty damn good. You're not even the second best diner. Boom.
Yeah.
Like that. I like that. The worst moment. The worst moment was. I know it's funny. I know they have Logan Paul and Austin Theory for like comical things with Joe Hendry, and I know that Joe Hendry's gonna be part of the focal point with the vision. He's part of that whole vision, and I'm glad that he's got a storyline to be into, which, But also the Liv Morgan thing talking to Roxanne, and she turns around and Finn Balor's there. It makes you think that. I think that eventually Roxanne is gonna friggin' leave them behind and
the cracks are forming for the Judgment Day, huh?
Exactly. That's gonna happen. What were they thinking? You're right, the open challenges, lazy writing, man. Lazy writing. That Obafemi is not gonna have any challenges that's gonna be worthy. And if it is, it's gonna be pay-per-view match. You're not gonna get any worthy opponents on friggin' Raw that's gonna upset the world. Because they're building Obafemi to be bigger than freaking goddamn, bigger than God. because they're not going to freaking have him lose to anybody. So these open challenges. Who's going to come out? Mr. Iguana? Who's going to come out? This, that? No.
Yeah.
So,
Psycho Clown.
Yeah. Psycho Clown. Yep.
Hijo del Vikingo.
You have nobody, man. There's nobody.
There is nobody
to face Obafemi the way they want him to. And leave him off TV for a little bit. Don't use him on TV every week. But you're gonna parade him out there.
Maybe if you sign Warlord, if he's on the contract at AEW, you can have him come in a surprised signing that nobody knows, and he comes in, he fights Obafemi. Because it's real. Who is that?
Royce Keys,
Royce Keys. Have him come in and fight the. But I don't.
That's the only way you do this open challenge is you have to make it a cross brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, you have to be able to let Royce Keys come from SmackDown.
Royce Keys
fight Obafemi.
And
what are they going to march Omos's ass from AAA?
Have that.
That might be the one thing they go with.
Otis, we're going to get an Otis versus. They're going to try and put Otis's fat ass against Obafemi.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to probably do the same thing. Ivar is going to, I shouldn't say that wasn't nice of me, but they're going to put Otis's ass against Obafemi. They're going to put Ivar against Obafemi. They're just going to throw big bodies.
And when Bronson Reed comes back, he'll go against Obafemi.
Yeah. Bronson Reed's the only one that, other than Roman, that really looks like they could stand up against Obafemi.
Well, you see, let's put it.
Yeah, right. Not Royce Keys. He'll look at Oba and start crying.
Start crying, yeah. Yeah. But that's the only thing. It has to be across the board. Anybody can come on the open challenge. That's it.
I mean,
Jeff Jarrett's back. What?
I wouldn't put it past them to do an open challenge, and you have freaking Jade Cargill walk out there and try and take out Obafemi.
No, I would love that. You have freaking Nia Jax. Nia Jax goes, I want some of that Obafemi.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss comes out.
I like Otis. I hate the way they use him. I shouldn't have said that. As a former fat guy, I shouldn't have called him.
I was about to say, damn, how the mighty is falling.
Nah,
dude, you're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I should have said big body. I should have used my words better, and I apologize.
Big boned.
But, big body guys, big guys like Otis.
I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
And it just, I don't know, man.
No, so
there's no juice there. Open challenge.
For it to work, it's got to be across the board, all the other brands. Mm-hmm. Maybe even somebody from TNA, Moose.
Moose would be a good one.
Have him come in.
A good one.
Yeah. They already did Moose versus Obafemi, though.
Yeah, I know, but you can still do it again. That was in NXT. Now
it was in NXT. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's the main roster. They forgot about that shit. We didn't, but they did.
Yeah. Did we do that again? I don't know. Let's do it again. Okay.
Asawa, maybe Asawa. What's his name? How do you say his name? Asawa, him.
Yeah, let's do Tozawa versus Obafemi. That's a fucking seller of a match right there, boy.
It's like Batista versus. It was like Batista versus Rey Mysterio. Remember that? He destroyed the Big Show. Crazy shit like that, man.
Let's
Giant Killer.
Tozawa.
Asawa. Figured he had the Giant Killer. Brian Daniel was the Giant Killer.
You might as well sign Hornswoggle to a one-night deal.
Right? Yeah. Might as well, feed Hornswoggle.
No, what about freaking Danhausen midgets? They can fight him.
The midget squad versus
Obafemi.
Little God.
Just gonna.
You bring out legends too. Kane can come out. The Undertaker will come back for another match.
Little Kane.
Yeah.
They have that little troop of.
You bring back King Kong Bundy.
You're just gonna roll all those guys out there to go after Obafemi, huh? Now, why don't you just stack them all on each other's shoulders too, so they resemble a regular sized person in a trench coat?
Man.
Yeah,
hey, we're doing Muppet Man.
Have the Miz, have freaking goddamn Carmelo Hayes come out.
All right, Sticks, what do you got? Dead air,
Didn't
apparently. You got dead air.
I thought I already did this. Okay,
so he's like looking like dead.
You might have. You might have.
I think I already said it. I said that the
I know.
mandible. I said about the mandible claw. I said
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You did.
Yeah, I already went through mine. You're second guessing me. Like, did I?
I just want to make sure you're on your toes. You look like you're having.
I appreciate that. Yeah. My mind is going a little bit.
All right. Next up, we got NXT from Tuesday night. For me, best moment of the night was hands down Lizzie Rain against Nikita Lyons.
You see Lizzie Rain taking my thing, my shine.
Yeah, I like Lizzie Rain. I think she had a hell of a debut, man.
She did.
What were they thinking? Debuting guys without having some sort of background for them. Like literally having your announcer going, "Who's this? Is this a fan? Is this a fan?" And there's nothing wrong with the fact that, you know, people might not be familiar with these new call-ups because they are all very, very independent guys.
NXT UK, right?
Nah, he wasn't UK, was he?
I think so.
No, I think he was very much independent.
Yeah. That was NXT.
He's straight off the indies.
Yeah, he's off the indies. UK.
I don't know. Those kind of spots are iffy because I remember when like Zach Gowen showed up with, he only had one leg and then beats 1-2-3 Kid or whatever.
Yeah. Wait, what's his name? Will Cruz?
Yeah, Will Cruz. That's his name.
I want to call him Will Koosh because his name looks like Koosh.
The Koosh.
You definitely needed to have some sort of something to offer the NXT crowd about who this kid is.
Well, they're gonna
being 30 years old and 6'4".
Yo, if you go and you see his indies, yo, he's crazy. He's good, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he is a big dude, and he goes. I've seen some of his stuff over the last couple of days, but like your debuts, you have Evil come out there. They don't even say his name because apparently they don't even have a gimmick for him yet. They don't even have a WWE name for him. He's not going to be Evil. He just hands Tony D'Angelo a shirt and walks away, and then D'Angelo gets attacked by this Will Coos and what is it, by Shiloh Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what were you thinking is you got to kind of have something to get the crowd excited.
A little more direction, right?
Yeah, with this like new crop of people.
Well,
yeah, at least do like a video with Evil and where he comes on the screen to talk to him as he's in the ring. It's, maybe say who he is and what he's doing there, and I'm coming for your title, and that might have been a little better than just showing up in the ring.
Obafemi's future opponents, the other Americanos, Johnny Gargano, Dragon Lee.
That's him. Yeah. You finished, Matt?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, my best moment is Lizzie Rain. I'm a huge 80s buff. I love the 80s. That's my favorite time, my favorite time in life of growing up, man. I want to go back there. I love the rock music she plays. I love the whole 80s vibe of Rocket Chick, man. Like I said, Joan Jett, freaking goddamn Pat Benatar type of, that really hits me in the nostalgia feelings. I love that. And you know what? And as for the other up and comers, I'm actually excited for NXT to get a lot of these guys. A lot of people may not know some of these people, but it's an exciting time that you have these new debuts to really build up the momentum of NXT, moving forward. The best moment of the other best moment was Ricky Saints leaving and being a straight up good dude, giving his vest, like I said, to young lady in the audience and shaking everybody's hand, from the cameramen to the announcers, to Booker T, everybody's in that for his time down there. And it's really cool to see him. I just hope that they utilize him good up there in SmackDown. I hope they don't fucking just sink his ship like they do a lot of things. I hope he comes out strong and has a strong push. Also, I kind of think that, you know, my worst, the worst moment, and what are they thinking, goes back to the call-ups too as well. They should have had some type of a video package. Yes, you made that. See, I do like the surprises, like who's that type of thing. I missed the that in Raw and SmackDown, the element of surprise of type of thing, because like if WrestleMania showed you anything, the Demon came out. You freaking had Paige come back out. No surprise whatsoever.
No,
so
all telegraphed.
Surprises if you showed up, but I think they should have had more of a like. But moving forward, they're probably gonna have more of a video package of who these people are that came up. You know,
do something.
So you had Lizzie Rain, you had Tate Wilder, which he was from. Was it what's the developmental?
Evolve.
Evolve. You had Cam Hendricks, who was from Evolve too as well, and Christian Angels, and then Evil, and then Will Cruz. You know, like I said, I like these calls, especially I think Will Cruz is a big name they got from the Indies, and I think he's going to really thrive at NXT. It should be really cool to see fighting Tony D'Angelo and stuff like that. But other than that, like, I like the direction of NXT. I like on what they're doing down there. And Shawn Michaels is, like I said, the little that he loved, they depleted NXT. Now you have to rebuild and get going. And look, Blake Monroe is going to be a great asset for freaking SmackDown. She already She already made the women's division a lot better than what it was. And like I said, Ricky Sane's going up there, and now NXT like has to build the momentum up again and build up the future stars that are going to come up to the main roster down the road. So I do like the direction of NXT, and I always liked the direction of NXT because I always thought that for the little bit that Shawn Michaels has down there, the story is a lot more compelling than Raw and SmackDown a lot of times. You know, they have good storytelling there, you know, and hopefully the momentum picks up. So, and I'm happy for the fact that NXT now has a PLE home on ESPN, so you could see the big PLEs instead of trying to freaking find it. Like I said,
your PLEs are going to be on CW.
CW, but also ESPN.
They're just going to stream. Yeah, they're going to stream it on ESPN as well. But yeah, all their major PLEs are going to be on broadcast television.
Yeah, I know. So we'll see.
Good. All right. I didn't get to see all of NXT. I'm kind of still watching it now. The Rain segment with the whole. Growing up in the '80s, I'm a huge hairband kind of guy. I mean, you can't tell. I don't got much hair anymore. But
I mean, you look good for 765 years old.
Yeah, I'm middle-aged. So I would say that for my best moment. I really don't have a worst moment. And then I don't know, what were they thinking? I don't know if bringing out Mr. Iguana here, there, and everywhere is, we leave him in AAA. He's good in AAA. They like him in AAA. I don't know how much the fans really like him in the main roster in NXT, but I think moving him around just seems like too much for him, like too much for his character. Keep him where the fans like him in AAA. I don't know if the sentiment is the same with you guys, but that would be it for me for NXT.
Yeah, I'm just kind of tired of the gimmick wrestlers altogether, and they just throw Mr. Iguana in there all the time. Or like, I like wrestlers are all right. I like that they use Psycho Clown sparingly, but I'm kind of tired of Mr. Iguana.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
But all right. That's it for NXT. Anybody watch Dynamite yet?
No.
I have not watched Dynamite yet.
Nope. No Dynamite for me.
All right. Well, then we'll skip Dynamite this week and we'll move on to the heat check. Hot this week, cold this week. Sticks. What you heat checking us on this week?
All right, go ahead and drop yours. I'll bring mine up.
Yeah, I just pulled yours up.
Oh, okay. Look at that. Look at him go. That's why I get to pay the big bucks. And why I still have horrible internet while I wait for my slides to even show up. Good Lord. I'm looking at some of these new internet satellite companies. I don't know if I want to go with that or not, but we'll see. Maybe it's a secondary. All right. Enough of my internet woes. As far as what's hot this week, so I've got Evil here, but in reality, it's all the like John was mentioning, all the call-ups that we've gotten into NXT, all the new fresh faces we're going to be getting after the call-ups. I think this is what's going to drive NXT to be probably better than the main brand again, because it had been for a while and it dipped, and it's kind of climbing its way back up again. Roman Reigns and that whole show aside, the NXT has been pretty solid right on through, up into the Obafemi call-up, and now Ricky Saints. So NXT has been doing good for them. These call-ups are going to do just as good for them, because I think it'll keep them with hopefully refresh their storylines, keep new things going. So that's kind of what I like. What do you guys think? I know, Dom, you like it, so
I like it. I love this stuff. I love, that we're getting different wrestlers from different organizations. New Japan, the indie scene, UK indie scene. It's exciting. Exciting. And look, we all know that Evil is not going to be in NXT for a while, maybe a year, because he wants it, because he wants to learn the WWE's moves and stuff like that, so he can fit in, to learn their thing. And that, I know he's in his 40s, but when he comes to the main roster, that's going to be pretty cool. So give or take that, you're right. The depleting of NXT, left a big hole, big void. Now, these wrestlers, will fill in some of those voids, hopefully, and then we have some great rivalries and great action. That's what you ask for. That's what you want.
Yeah.
And
the one thing I'll say about Evil, I mean, yes, he's been mostly in. I think he was in AEW for a little bit, maybe, and then New Japan. He's a solid veteran. He's been in the game for a little bit more than some of these guys coming up.
Was he 40 or 42? I think he's in his 40s. He's in his 40s. So
Evil?
Yeah.
No, he can't be more than
no
late 30s.
No, he's in his.
Yeah, he's 39.
39.
39. There you go. Yeah.
So he's up there. 30s. And remember, this is Io Sky's fiance. So
right. I mean, yeah, sure.
Here's the thing: is
you've got good taste.
I don't think Evil is going to take to the WWE style as well as people think he is. Look at Julia. Look how much Julia's kind of struggled with that WWE style. I don't think Evil's going to be as big a star in WWE as people want to be. I wouldn't be surprised if he fizzles out. Look at Shinsuke Nakamura.
He had a good run though for a while. I mean, it's not like
in NXT, yeah, but then he came to the main roster, and
I still think he had a good run in the main roster.
Look at Finn Balor, how great he was in NXT. How freaking nuts! And with Joe, all those guys who came from NXT.
It's just the Japanese don't transition well to WWE, except for Io and Asuka. Who else really? Kairi's been released twice now. Shinsuke had a good run in WWE in NXT, but hasn't even held the world championship in WWE other than the mid cards.
Right.
So I don't necessarily know that they fired all these guys and hyped up the signing of Evil. And I don't necessarily know how well Evil's going to transition into NXT. Sorry about it. It might be a shitty take, but
no, hey, listen,
kind of that
vibe.
Matt,
you make some good points. You do make some good points. But I think, that there could be an upside. He may not transition well, but I still think he can resonate with the crowd. And the crowd seems excited that he's here. So the fans, so give or take, let's see what happens. Like I said, he'll probably be in NXT for about a year, to get try to learn a lot more of what he knows, and then make his main roster debut sometime maybe towards WrestleMania next year. You don't know. You get over there. It's
possible. I'm gonna defend Julia just a little bit from you, Matt, because I think Julia, yes, she hasn't had a great run, but I don't think there's a lot for her to really do. There's no real women in that division for her to go up against. You got to keep putting her up against Rhea and Jade and all. I mean, you want a main card, you want a mid card. You can't have them just floating back and forth doing everything. I don't know. I think she's had a little bit of a sour run because of the numbers game for the women's division.
I just think her style, it's hard to transition from that Japanese style to the WWE system. And
I won't disagree with that. I just think she's hasn't really had a chance in the women's division to even evolve her style. A lot of times you got to fight the new style to kind of create your own version of that style. And
so you're saying that Julia probably should have stayed in NXT for a little bit longer then?
Yeah. Probably
shouldn't have been called up right away.
Yeah. She got a real quick call up out of necessity.
Okay.
So here you go. As far as my what is cold this week, I mentioned it earlier that I wanted to talk about it later. And Backlash. I don't know if you've been to the WWE website lately, but there is no Backlash page.
What? We've only got 3 matches. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu, Io Sky versus Asuka, and what the hell's the third match?
Oh, shit.
I know there's 3 matches that were announced on Raw.
It was the Braun Breaker.
Oh, that's right. Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Yeah.
WrestleMania Light, because those were all matches that were supposed to take place at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So, WWE.com doesn't even have it on their website, so you can go to look at the 3 matches. And here we are, a week and a half away from it, right? 2 weeks?
Saturday.
There you go. Next Saturday. So what the hell, guys? What are we doing? And we only have 3 matches. Here we go again with the throwing shit together at the last minute.
All the time.
So my question and my take on this is not shaping up to be the PLE we usually get. Backlash is usually that either a return match or a rematch from WrestleMania. We're not getting that. We're getting matches that, like you say, should have happened, or we're getting a whole new different kind of, Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns. That, I don't know if that was even on the spectrum to being for WrestleMania, but I don't think it was. So, and what are the other 3 matches going to be if it's probably only going to be 6 matches?
You might get a tag team.
You're going to get a 4-match PLE, dude.
You're going to probably get a tag team match. It's probably going to be the Street Profits versus Division.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, if it's only 4 matches, Matt, that Tampa Bay crowd should think twice about buying tickets.
They're not. It's not going to be a 6-match PLE. It's going to be 4 or 5 matches. That's the Triple H style, man. 4 or 5 matches. That's it.
I'm not paying $100 plus to go watch 4 matches.
4 matches. Just
that's
fucking
bullshit.
Smack dab in between commercials.
Bullshit.
You're gonna get
4 matches and 3 hours of commercials.
3 hours of commercials and
doing?
45 minutes of wrestling, if that.
Yeah,
that's what it's gonna be.
So
watch Jacob Fatu get beat by Roman Reigns. You're gonna watch. I mean, Seth Rollins probably beat Braun Breaker.
I don't know about that one.
You're gonna watch Io beat Asuka.
Yeah.
And what else you got? You got nothing from what we're gonna throw. Cody Rhodes probably isn't gonna be cleared to compete at Backlash. So what are you gonna do? Throw an Intercontinental or a United States Championship match in there? You're gonna have Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn again.
Player to be named later. Yeah.
Run it back and do Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes.
That might be right. We might get a tag team match with like Street Profits or something.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get a 6-man tag: Street Profits and Joe Hendry versus the Vision. And
okay, here we go. Yeah.
You know, or what are we gonna get? A Intercontinental Championship match: Ethan Page and Rusev and Penta.
Probably.
All right, listen. All right, so
here goes Dom. Dom's on it. What do you got, Dom?
No, I got some news. WWE. So WWE has named 5 wrestlers. One of them will become Obafemi's next opponent. So apparently, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed, and Trick Williams are all in the mix.
Well, Bronson Reed's out for a year plus with the torn bicep, with his
So Drew McIntyre is out for a little bit. So Gunther, Roman Reigns, Trick Williams. But Trick Williams has the feud with going on with Sami Zayn now. Those are the only wrestlers that can make logic sense to build up Obafemi. More.
And 2 of them are out.
Yep.
2 of them are out.
You know what WWE is gonna fucking do, man? They're gonna hire Braun Strowman's big ass back and have him go after Obafemi, and it's gonna be ridiculous.
It's gonna be Obafemi versus Braun and Bronson Reed. You just still Bronson.
Braun Breaker.
No, what you just said. I'm fucking gonna hide this guy back.
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. Yeah, it's gonna. They'll sign him back to go after to be a mop up guy until the other guys come back. But think about it. There is really nobody that can fight Obafemi unless you open up all the brands and have anybody come up. You could have someone, like I said, from NXT, which they probably won't do the NXT thing because they're building those guys. So SmackDown, AAA, and Raw are going to be the 3 for the Open Challenge. You got to.
I wouldn't do NXT because they just made all those call-ups.
Yeah. NXT can't do it. I was gonna say
TNT maybe. I mean, you could probably TNA. I mean,
you have Moose come in.
Yeah, maybe TNA.
You could have friggin'
like you said, Moose.
No, I don't think Julia fought Michin like 10 times. Chelsea Green fought Michin like 12 times.
Oh yeah, Chelsea Green did. Yeah. Every other week, twice on Friday.
But I mean, she should. You had that in NXT. You had face Julia versus heel Stephanie, and I just don't know.
Hey, it wasn't heel Stephanie. It was heel Julia.
Okay, other way around. But you don't. She just, her style isn't transferring well here, and so WWE is already starting to fizzle out on her. You can kind of feel it. But yeah, Backlash is fucking no bueno.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be dog shit in a park. Is what it's shaping up to be.
Yeah, sure.
You got more people interested in El Grande Americano mask versus mask than you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which they just came up with that match, and why is it taking him almost 30 days to get to that match? It's like June 13th before that match even takes place.
It's like in the end of May, isn't it?
No, it's May 30th. Yeah, May 30th.
Yep.
Yeah, almost June. Yeah.
But anything else you guys want to cook on tonight before we get out of here?
No, I think that's it, man.
Yeah, no. Yeah, gotta be,
The Rock got pulled over by cops.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
What else you want to cook on, Dom?
Really not, man. I'm just like I said, I like the direction of NXT. We every week we fight about the SmackDown, Raw, the way things are, and it's a shame that they have all that talent that's actually going to waste on those shows because they don't know how to do storylines, how to get things to generate the fans, and that's why I said the fan interaction means a lot more than people think. I think they should definitely go back to basics where they used to have the fan interactions and try to get ideas out there, man, and really see what people are talking about. I know they're looking at shows like ours and seeing what people are talking about, in a nutshell to try to get some ideas,
They have to be.
Because you can't have another friggin' another bloodline storyline to try to top the first one, which the first one was a good one, and that was it. It lasted 3 years. It ended abruptly. It ended before it be finished, which that's the only downside to that storyline. And I'm still thinking that take the belt off Roman, a surprise. Figure Jacob Fatu beats him. You can send shockwaves to wrestling, and it'd be like, holy shit, and like you could have Roman like, what the hell just happened, and really get things cooking. And you can make Jacob Fatu turn heel again, which he is like heel. I don't know, whatever he's in between the two, but you could have him walking around with the belt, and figure Solo sees that shit, and Solo gets pissed off, and you can have different, have a lot of different battles. Like I said, there's really no other new people to have freaking different. What they could have Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys. If
I got a question I want to ask you guys about.
Sure.
Go ahead. Finish what you were saying, Dom.
Sure. I'm just saying you could have that. I was just bringing up some things you could possibly have. Go ahead.
I was just throwing it out there because it sounded like we were just kind of regurgitating everything again. So
good.
What do you guys think about Bully Ray's comments on the WWE releases? Have you guys seen that?
Which one though? Which
what were
Ray
his
Dudley?
comments?
That we all know he's a trainer for LFG, right?
Yeah.
So
yes, I did see his
he made these comments of saying that the advice he would give talent is that he would give them no advice. He has no sympathy for those cuts and suggesting that they should have worked harder, taken it more seriously. And he urges the released wrestlers to exhibit more professionalism, such as being polite and sharing promo, labeling the industry a business for men and women, not children.
Yeah.
That's kind of like friggin' this guy Diesel when he said some stupid comments about Javon Evans, and like everybody has comments about wrestlers or how things are. Look, this day and age, the wrestlers that are coming up now and the people who are, it's not the Attitude Era, which really sucks. The Attitude Era was great. It's a different time. And I totally disagree with that, because I think that the wrestlers definitely they love doing what they're doing. You think you want to be cut? You think you want to open up your locker and have a pink slip in there? Saying thanks for your services and you're off. No, nobody wants to be fired from their jobs, man. Anderson Black was actually happy coming back to the WWE. And unfortunately, they got rid of Karrion Kross to use Anderson Black for the same thing, and now both of them are gone. It's that ever-changing, non-creative stuff that is going on in the back that they don't know what to fucking do. All these storylines that they're abruptly freaking discontinuing, they're stopping, they're doing, like, they're not giving a legit story. And the most legit story that was going on was the Io Sky, Oscar, and freaking goddamn Kairi Sane. That was one of the most constant stories that actually was evolving. You're talking about a 6-month storyline that is dealing with that.
What's her name?
Kairi Sane. It's the way
I heard it. I almost let it go, and then I was like, I can't let it go.
No, it's just the way I pronounce it, man. It's a New York accent. What do you want?
It's New York accent.
New York, hey. I need some coffee. I'm just saying the fact is that Kairi. Oscar. I got freaking question mark.
Question mark.
Question mark.
Now he's really trying to force out that.
I'm not forcing it. That's what I'm talking, man. Nah, but that was the most legit storyline, really, if you really think about it, that actually people were invested in. Everything else, up in the air. But nobody really cared about the Wyatt Six and the NFTs battling. That went on way too long. They misused the Wyatt Six. That there was great potential for the Wyatt Six. That could have been great if they did it the right way. But they didn't.
Let me ask you this: Do you think if he were to come up today, do you think Bully Ray even gets a shot at being in WWE if he was coming up in this system today? Because he came in at a time where he kind of had to grow it out and grind it out, and wrestlers were praised for coming in from other places. They weren't homegrown like they are now. Do you think he would make it if he was homegrown through the WWE system?
I think the gimmick that he had, the Dudley Boys back in the Attitude Era, I actually think it wouldn't resonate today. It wouldn't. It's a different time. It's I think a lot of the stuff that's going on today that back then would not resonate now. And I don't think he would been as popular now as he was back then. And I actually think that they would have cut him. Because of the character he played. Like I said, it fit. It fit at that time. Now it's totally different. Like, look, the Javon Evanses of the wrestling universe is what resonates to the younger crowd today. Right. That is what wrestlers that the kids want to see. Yeah, Roman Reigns, kids love Roman Reigns. It's a different time. Like I said, Roman Reigns came at the right time. He fits in this time. Cody Rhodes, yes, Cody Rhodes is a prodigy from back then, but he still resonates now. He changed up his gimmick. I don't think his gimmick would have changed for him to be able to succeed like he did back then. Now, and that's my honest truth. And it sucks that, look, anybody could say that it was their fault, that it's their fault to work harder. Dude, you get wrestlers that bust their ass day in and day out, and they still get cut. So it doesn't matter who you are. If you put in the work, you don't put in the work. If they see fit that it fits in their budget, they have to cut you, they're going to cut you, regardless the fact on who you are. Come on, the Motor City Machine Guns, one of the best freaking tag teams, they were diminished down to being backstage freaking cronies for a little bit in the back without even freaking wrestling for months. They had no storyline. You're a tag team. Tag teams thrive. You're supposed to be out there day in and day out. No story for them. They released them. And they were highly on them a year ago when they got them. So it doesn't matter on who has to work harder and who doesn't work harder. If you're going to go, you're going to go.
Yeah. My take on him and his statements are Bully is playing to his lack of, his character on there. He's supposed to be inspiring these kids, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get them to work harder, and I get that. That's what he's there to do. And if he can use this as a teaching moment, right? He's going to use it. Now, would he have been able to make it up here? I will say that his original run as the Dudley Boys with his as a stutterer, the stuttering Dudley there, would never have made it up into the main roster. But him and Devon definitely would have. I think they were definitely something that would have definitely made it to the main roster.
Okay.
Oh, man, I don't think the Dudley Boys would have made an impact that they did back then. Because you know why? I'm going to tell you why. The wrestlers back then were a different breed of wrestlers. Those wrestlers,
they were from that stock too.
They all complemented each other. That's how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that in the wrestlers today.
Well, I think his take is right because of the era he came up in. He came up in an era, remember, where professional wrestling was still very regarded. It's a carnival act. It's a circus. It's essentially professional wrestlers are glorified carnies. And you came up in a business at a time where the business was protected, and your guys, your older guys, didn't want to help the newer guys because it was like figure it out.
Yep.
So I get where he's coming from because he's kind of got that old school mentality. I just think his delivery came off like a jackass, and everything that's coming out
came out very jaded and very harsh.
Yes, and it came out very cold, but it's tough love. He's saying, what he's going to give you anything. You got to get out there and work for it. And maybe he didn't do this, maybe do that. And it kind of makes LFG looks like a joke because that one of the cuts was the first winner of LFG. So they cut her after, and now LFG is nothing more than people who already have, you're competing for a WWE contract that you already signed. Because now season 3, Nikita Lyons is on LFG, and she's been there in NXT for years between injuries and all that. She's been there for years. So it just, to answer my own question, I don't necessarily know that he would have made the cut. I'm kind of with Dom. I don't know that his style would have really made the cut in the WWE system today. I think he gets that rub from being an ECW, but I don't necessarily know that in today's day and age, if the Dudley Boys were debuting right now, they get over.
I don't know. Maybe I just like them a lot from back then.
I do like the Dudley Boys a lot. I like Bubba Ray and Devon. But I just think today, if they came up in the WWE system, they would be vastly different performers. Exactly. Because not necessarily in a good way.
No, I'm saying the fact is that the wrestlers back then complemented each other to a point where it fit into that particular environment. It's a different breed. It's a different atmosphere now. There's a lot more. There are a lot of things you need to look. Back then, we were all crazy. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, all crazy. There's stuff like you can't use, like the Dudley Boys. Bubba Ray with the stuttering. that'll offend somebody. You can't do that.
No,
today. Eugene, you can't have a Eugene type of shit. So all these.
No. Eugene was definitely not a maid.
Exactly.
Here's the main question though. Can Mark Henry and Mae Young still have a hand baby today?
Nope.
No hand babies.
Erroneous. Professional wrestling has lost all its mystique.
Yep.
Yeah. Each year has its own.
You're right, Dubs.
Hook.
Dudley Boys of 2026 will be cut before the Motor Mission comes. Yep, definitely. So
I don't know.
That's the thing. So, I know harsh words. You shouldn't have the harsh words like saying that they deserved it. No one deserves to get cut unless you are a lazy sack of shit and you don't want to fit into your job, like people on my job. So,
Don's got like 12 people on his job.
His work that are watching right now. They're like, this fucking guy over here talking about how we're lazy.
Fucking lazy. No, but it's just you have to have some kind of sympathy to it because nobody wants to get cut, man. That's the dreadful thing. And it's sad that it's not Sanford, Connecticut, WWE, but TKO made the call. Yeah, this is so-and-so. I'm so-and-so at the top. And guess what? You no longer have a job. Pack your things and get the fuck out.
Well, like I said before, man, when you sit in there and think about it, like they fired almost WWE's entire HR staff. So it makes sense that the phone call came from TKO. So I'm sure the pecking order came down to, Ari Emanuel and Shapiro said, okay, this is the dollar amount we need to hit. Here's what, get us there. And it was up to Nick Khan and Triple H to hand them a list of names to get him there. And they handed it over to TKO, the TKO human resources, and they probably made the calls. When you really sit there and think about it after you're out of the heat of the moment, it makes sense that it happened that way. But
yeah. I have no problem with how that went down, I guess.
But all right, well, I think that's a great place for it to stop. Another great show in the books. Thank you so much for everyone hanging out tonight and watching our takes on all this week's of professional wrestling. If you want more from Sticks and Dom, we'll head over to the Renovision channel and check them out tomorrow night on The Qualified. They'll be doing their thing. You can check Dom out every Sunday night over there on the Star Wars show. You can check out Sticks and I every Saturday night on our respective channels for Saturday Night Special. And you can also catch us right here next Thursday. Oh, that's right. You can catch Sticks on his channel every Tuesday night for his Doctor Who Rewind show. And you can catch us right here next Thursday night for another episode of Off the Mat, where we'll be doing the unthinkable, the unquestionable. Fucking giving our picks on Backlash, whatever Backlash is going to be.
Whatever that's going to look like.
3 matches Backlash is going to be.
Matches.
Or whatever Backlash is shaping up to be. We'll be doing that and giving you all our hottest takes right here. Double wants to know, is Doctor Who still on Tuesdays? It is.
It is. It wasn't this past week. I had a late night at work, so I had to call it this week, but we'll be back on Tuesday.
But catch us right here next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be giving you all of our hot takes for WWE Backlash next weekend. So with that,
crazy.
Dom, send us out with some words of wisdom, my friend.
I got 2 things. One, listen, how hard is it to say thank you or you're welcome?
What can I say except
if you do a kind gesture to somebody, thank you. Thank you goes a long way. It's just words. All you have to do is just say that, and the person, the recipient, would definitely be, happy.
Bottom line, be kind.
You hold the door for somebody, and you just walk in without saying thank you. I'm gonna grab your ass and throw you out till you come back in. You do the right thing.
Try that again, buddy.
The story is Dom just wants to grab your ass.
Yeah, sure. And the other thing is, we're talking about the release wrestlers and with Bubba Ray said, stuff like that. Work smarter, not harder, man. Smarter, man.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
It's like the hard part, because let me tell you something. It's like when you go to the bathroom at your job, you shit on their time, not yours. That's it.
And yeah, I don't think anyone's kicking out from that one. So have a great week, everyone. We'll see you guys next Thursday night right here on Off the Mat for our Backlash prediction show.